for a month because, oops,
We're
because you were
live.
singing.
Everyone's going, oops, but shit, we haven't done this for a long time. Oh my God, what do we do? What do we do? Oh my Lord. It's blurry. It's a blur.
You
What
need
is this?
cataract surgery.
Well, that I know. I know that. I mean, what day is it?
It's Saturday. It's the 8th of June.
Saturday. Right. Night. Some crap like that. Well,
Oh, were you trying to sing?
hello, everybody. It's been a while. It's Chat with Al. We have Uncle Ron and the OG Devin. And it's a free for all, open chat, open mic. If you want to sing Simsalabim, you go ahead and do it. Because tonight is the night to make it right. Y'all. Anyhow, y'all.
Is that the Southern Disco? You down in
That's a
Houston
Southern
doing it?
disco. That's the devil went down to Georgia looking for a soul to steal. Charlie Daniels.
Remember once listening when that song was popular in the late 70s, the pop station played the wrong version.
Oh.
So it was the son of a bitch instead of son of a gun.
Yeah, see, I always heard the son of a bitch version. Well, we had it on record
on the radio then, and so they got in trouble.
Do you remember? I think it was not Neil Sedaka. There was another Neil. Again, not music I really cared for, but he actually. No. What the hell was his name?
Neil Diamond.
Nope, not Neil Diamond.
I don't think Neil ever swore in the song. He just wrote about 12-year-old girls.
No, yeah, it's kind of creepy. I'm your Uncle Neil. Hey there, Uncle Neil.
Sweet
no,
Caroline.
Paul Anka. I'm sorry, Paul Anka. When he went,
that's not a Neil.
I know he just remember, but he said bitchin' in one of his songs. I'll never forget that when I heard that on the radio. Yes, look it up. It's shit. I'm gonna have to look it up. But he did say bitch in one of his songs. It was like I was like, what?
You're gonna say hi to the new guy?
It's Mr. Body Painting himself. He's clean. Look how well he cleans up after all that body painting. Mr.
A little bit left over here.
Oh, Uncle Dave Gardner from HockeyTournaments.com. How you doing, Uncle Dave?
Doing okay.
I heard you picked up. Oh, Dave, this is Devin. Devin, that's Dave, and you know Uncle Ron.
Who's this? Who's this?
You're the one who invited him.
Shh. Yeah. Shh. So, first of all, let's go to the chat. We have our three fans out there. So
the three fans are the three of us watching.
No, we actually have three human beings.
Wow.
We have Sports Time Machine. Check out that great YouTube channel. All things Sports Time Machine related. He's doing a Yankee 1978 replay when they're trying to catch up by 14 games. Pretty cool. Stratomatic. I enjoy watching that. We have Fanomatic. Great channel when he puts stuff up. And he never wants to come on with us because I've always asked him. He's like, no. I'm like, okay. It's all right, though. We still love him.
Unlike us, he has a reputation he has to preserve.
Probably true. And we have Tribes Fan 879 doing his Stratomatic replay of the 2016 Minnesota Twins. And we have Baseball Demos with the enforcer of the FOC, Tabby the cat. And just look away when she catches the bad people. Look away, I tell you. As Dave from Baseball Demo says, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So before we get started, because I have a question for Mr. Gardner. He picked up this hockey game I've been eyeing, and he's going to give us a review on it. He's going to give us a review, but we're going to go to Uncle Ron, and then Uncle Ron will turn it over to Uncle Devin, the OG, and then over to Uncle Dave.
So we're the four uncles of the apocalypse, right? What am I doing? Is that what we're doing? My channel is Retro Sports Network, and we're currently doing the 82 baseball replay. We're into September now. Hard to believe. The season's almost over. And doing some other football things, and got a cool project coming up, which I can't quite pronounce yet. So the channel's got good stuff going on.
Awesome sauce.
Devin,
as Nurse Teresa. Hello, Nurse Teresa. I know who she is.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Devin, the OG, the original Grognard. I haven't been here for a while because I've been very busy with real life, and I'm stiff and I'm sore and I'm tired, and we're not going to get into that. I do tactical, strategic, military, hex encounters, sometimes computer war gaming, and I really haven't done much in the last because of pre-mentioned
real life stuff.
Yeah, real life stuff. Kind of the biggest thing that I kind of have going on, and if anybody who's watched my channel for the last couple months may have noticed, I've been doing a lot of stuff from Lock and Load Publishing.
Yes,
games company. Yeah,
awesome sauce.
yeah. I kind of been hired by them. I really haven't announced it too much because I mean it's not really an official job, but I am getting compensated quite well for in my opinion for what I'm doing. I am officially listed as an official game reviewer for the company.
Awesome.
And I have also just started. I'm getting back into design work because I've done war game design several years ago. I did a couple of modules,
That's awesome, OG.
I'm starting up a new one. I haven't really wanted to say anything because it's still kind of in the pre-alpha research phase right now. But it's going to be a scenario pack for one of his games for the squad level system. In fact, you remember the game that Todd and I, the itinerant hobbyist, played? Lock and
Yes,
Load?
the one where you're like all apologetic to each other. This is the way this game went. This is the best war game ever. It's like, you go first and shoot. No, you. No, after you. All I could think of were the two gophers on Looney Tunes. And I watched that whole thing. It was riveting to me. And I knew what they were trying to do. They want the other person to go first because you want to counterattack. But it was so funny how polite they went. I won't shoot you, I swear. You go first. You.
Indubitably.
Yes, indubitably.
But it's for one of those games in that series. It's the Eastern Front. It's basic Case Blue, which is the German summer offensive in 1942, led to the gates of Stalingrad. So the plan is 12 to 20 scenarios. And I don't even want to grab it, but I got this.
I just want to interrupt you for 1 second, OG. Your friend Uzi Patrol is in the chat, and he has the dreaded Canadian standoff.
Uzi, what's up, brother?
Thanks for joining us, Uzi. Awesome sauce. And thank you for joining us, Nurse Teresa. That's my friend.
So it's basically going to be 12 to 20 scenarios, depending on how ambitious I get. I got to make up a bunch of new maps, and I'm going to try to work out a new counter sheet and stuff like. But hopefully, I want to say final product will be ready for presentation to Dave in 4 to 8 months.
Wow,
depending on how ambitious I get. But I mean, I've got this like 650. My first research book is like this book is like 650 pages.
Now,
So
are you designing you're designing the board and the gameplay?
I am going to be designing several of the boards. I was originally just going to use the boards that were in the box set for the game that I'm doing, but Dave says no. I want more maps. Like, all right, cool, no problem. I can come up with maps. I can do maps all day long.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it's going to have
awesome news, man.
4 to 6 maps in it. Maybe one counter sheet, depending if I need a lot more vehicles and stuff like that. But official reviewer and
that's
kind
awesome.
of designer for Lock and Load Publishing right now.
Bravo, congrats, my friend. Well deserved.
I'm happy.
and now to Captain Body Painting himself, the man, the legend, the hockey guru out in Eastern Massachusetts and worldwide, Uncle Dave. How you doing?
Good.
And hockeytournaments.com.
Thanks for having me. Good to be on the show here. IOG, Ron, Al, good to be here. I watch you guys quite a bit at night, and sometimes I sit here on the computer, and then if it gets real late, sometimes I'll go up in bed and I'll snuggle up with my phone, and I'll have you guys right here, and that's my time.
That's our time together, our snuggle time. Okay, that was a bit creepy.
Yeah, my wife goes, we'll let you have that if you want.
Yeah. And we have Combat Painters change his name. He totally confused me. Like when I get noted, thank God his picture is still there. I'm like, who's CP? I don't know. Oh, Combat Painter. How you doing, my friend? So he's
dude, I got thrown for a loop when I first started seeing that. I was like, I don't remember subscribing to this channel.
Yeah. I was like, what is that? But anyway, back to Uncle Dave Gardner. So tell us about your channel and about hockeytournaments.com, and also what I like to call this week in hockey. I know you have a name for, but I just love you and Uncle Ron on Wednesdays. So I interrupted because that's what I do. I interrupt.
That's all right.
Squirrel.
So I got a website that I run, hockeytournaments.com, and it's just a place that if you have a tournament, ice, street hockey, roller hockey, wherever it is in the world, we'll list it for you. We have options for free listings as well as paid listings. We have a lot of the major tournament companies in North America, in Canada, United States, advertising with us. And it's a project I put together probably about 15 or 16 years ago. It's like I grabbed the domain name, hockeytournaments.com. I said, I'm going to list some sites. And I put it up, and almost instantly people started advertising because that's the main domain. And it's been going on pretty well. It's nothing I can retire on, but it's a part-time project and it's part-time work. And I've got some pretty good people doing
And you like doing it.
Yeah, it's just some web work. I learned how to do web design, 20 years ago. And I had a whole bunch of web customers back in the day, but then it kind of got away from me, and I get into the running hockey leagues more than anything else now. And I've been doing that 21 years now. Like some of the leagues I've been running.
I tell you what, you were talking with Uncle Ron on the weekly hockey show, and I thought it was absolutely fabulous. I think it was the last one or the one before about the statistics for the whole history of the hockey league. And that was just awesome how it's going to be online.
Yeah, it is. We finished. We started.
You did finish. I remember you said you were close.
Yeah, March of 2016, we found a site that would host not only our current stats, but we could go back and input game by game, goal by goal, assist by assist, all of our games. Okay, now
that's awesome.
I don't know if you're aware of this. The NHL just did this too. If you
that's what's his face, the commissioner. They're behind on the time.
They had I don't know how many months ago it was, but they had an announcement now that you can actually go back to NHL.com. It's kind of funky to find, but if you poke around long enough and click on the right buttons, you can go back to any game. I don't know how far back they go.
Well, that's
17, right from day one.
Right from day one, and you can go and click on that, and they look like So if you go there, this is what they look like. Okay, I don't know if you can see that on hockey tournament. I mean, on NHL.com. That's just a typical box score that I printed out. So what I did is I printed out a few of these so I can have an idea who was on the ice when I do my replays. So this is just I printed out a bunch of these from NHL.com, and basically they did what we did. We went back and manually inputted all of our stats going back to the year 2000.
When you started the league.
We started in 99.
Okay.
But by the time we got organized, and the internet was very different in 99 than it is today. And so,
is that dial up and you're sitting there going, what is she doing now?
And so what we would do is we would have the stats for the season, and we would just write over them for the new season because you didn't have the space to store it.
Right.
Or didn't want it to load. So and then back in 1999 when we started the league, we didn't think we'd be here 20 years later.
Well, I just think bravo.
So
bravo.
Yeah. So we got Ron helped out, put in a few games. Players in the league helped out. Friends, relatives, anybody that would put in a few games. And over time, I don't know how many thousands of games are in there, but we go all the way back to fall of 2000. And if you went to our website and clicked on it, you could go back, pick on the season you wanted to, pick any game, and the full box score is there. And kind of part of that.
2 nights a week, 3 or 4 seasons per year on those nights. So it's not just one continuous league. It's
year round, twice a week.
Games.
So if you did the math, if you did, what is it? So let's just say we play 51 weeks a year times 2. That's 100 games a year.
And you have multiple leagues.
Well, I got the two. Yeah, I got the 2 roller hockey leagues and the 1 ice hockey league. Yeah, and that one's done too. That one goes all the way back to 2000 awesome. As well. So, so that's done. So what we did is Wednesdays at noon we were doing a show called This Week in the E. In the EMRHL, and Ron joined me, and we recapped some of the games that we did, and we talked about league events because it's our 20th year, so we're talking about what we might do for a celebration and just kind of celebrating 20 years. But we decided to take the summer off. Summer, guys come and go on vacation. We didn't know who would be watching in the summer, so we're not going to do it on Wednesdays at noon. Maybe once a month, I think we talked about. But we had guests on, and we had some funny stories.
I tell you, the adding of the guests, especially after the first couple, where the next ones came on, they're like, okay, I get that. They probably watched the first couple and they go, okay, this is legit. I mean, these guys anyway. They play in the league. I just have to share one quick story. So I was at work. It was a Friday, and it was a championship game for his league, right? And it was like tape delayed live. You know what I mean? Like he would record it and he put it up. So I'm watching this champ. I have no clue who's playing, but I'm like riveted by it because you have to understand, Dave is the camera, like he's recording it on camera and doing play-by-play. And if you've not seen Dave Gardner
hanging over a board too,
hanging over a board. Now you can't see that, right? But he does wonderful play-by-play. So I'm at work doing my thing, listening, and all of a sudden, I'm like, did he just yell at someone? So I'm like, I pop it back up. Some guy, this guy he knows, flipped a puck at him. He goes, real smart. Like, I'll let him shit, but it was like, and I was like, man, he could have got hurt. Why'd he do that? But he did unbelievable job.
That's the ice hockey league. So for the championship game, I have a camera. So I'm at center ice, hanging over the glass is like here. I'm hanging over it, filming it with a little monopod.
It's incredible.
And I'm doing a play-by-play, and they see me. They know I'm there.
The
guy that actually was the guy that I took my gun course with, of all people.
You were telling me that after, yeah.
He's in the corner, and so I look down the glass, okay, because I'm at center ice. I look down the boards, and he's in the corner, and he fires it, and it just goes right down the boards. And I'm like, he didn't just do what I think he did. And it come right over the bench, and it hit me right. I turned, and it hit me right in the back, and for about 30 seconds,
he was pissed.
Irate. I was irate.
He was pissed.
And I knew the camera
made for gold for YouTube.
Yeah, and I was like, what are you thinking about this? And you ever want me to film this again? You won't shoot that puck up here. Then I was like, all right, just relax.
It was funny.
He's a friend of mine, but still, at the time, I'm hanging. I shouldn't be doing that. It's really dangerous. Now, granted, these are old men playing, but still, if they fire that puck, my wife comes Friday mornings. My wife shows up for the games, and she goes on the bench and takes pictures. She got hit by a puck Friday. She's on the bench taking a picture, and the puck goes up and hits her in the leg. I'm like, oh, guys, come on. But that's how bad we are. We're really bad.
But I have to tell you something. That was absolutely magnificent the way you did it. I was riveted. And the team that won had not won, and the guy who had been playing forever finally won a championship. Was his name Joe?
It might have been. Yeah, there's a couple guys that haven't won up there yet.
But and I have no clue who these teams are. I'm like, I'm rooting for the team and the guy who's never won. I'm like, you can do it, Joe. You can do it. And they did it. And I jumped up, and people at work were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, no.
Is that why you got in trouble again for watching us at work?
Shh, I don't do that. I don't.
The monkey keeps track of that stuff,
I know the monkey keeps track.
How the hell did the monkey get to be HR?
I don't know. We've been still trying to figure that out.
I mean, the monkey is the biggest violator of HR.
But usually they are. The monkey, let me tell you something. The monkey craps in public. The monkey goes, he just does whatever the hell he wants, man.
The poo everywhere.
You know what? I don't know what's worse, the poo flinging or the happy juice. I don't know.
He's diluting it in water now and drinking it. I thought he was just,
he's nuts, the monkey. And Gigio's no better. He just the white dye eggs him on. They're like on coke binges every other night. They're hard to control. That's why you haven't seen them in a while.
Al went into a restaurant. There's a local hipster restaurant that does a great job. It serves breakfast and beer.
Yeah.
From morning to night. Okay. And up on one of the walls, honest to God, is a Topo Gigio figurine.
That's where I got the whole Gigio thing.
I know. That's why I brought it up. And it's like, so I had seen it there last summer, and I laughed about it, and I wasn't doing the show then. And so Sarah and I are out last Friday, the Friday before, and we're about done. And I look up and see it, and I just start to laugh. And she's going, "What's so funny?"
Al's white dye has a cocaine problem.
Hey,
oh God!
A couple people in the chat commented on my striper shirt.
Yes,
right?
Chris, our good friend Chris from Stramac.
I gotta give a quick plug to one of my favorite channels. Okay, the guy is called Razor Fist. Okay,
Razor Fist,
and I think he's the Rageaholic. Okay, and he's got a channel, and he's pretty popular on YouTube. Okay. And he does a bunch of things. He'll play video games. He'll talk current events. He'll talk politics. But he's got a section on his channel that's called Metal Mythos. And he does these 1 to 2 hour documentaries on metal bands. And he is phenomenal. And the Striper one, I think, is his best. He did Striper, Maiden,
that's pretty cool.
Sabbath, docking, you name it. It's all edited. He's got this character that is unbelievable. He's got the sunglasses and the gloves, and he's swearing. And you got to check out Razor Fist and Metal Mythos and find a band that you like. So I got to give him a shout out. He is just so funny.
Awesome.
If you want to stay away from the political part of his channel, that's fine. You stay away from it. Go for the metal. And he
the metal.
Hysterical with his just how he words it and just his puns and the whole bit. So yeah, go check that guy out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
the funniest thing he said, because people were saying that, well, Striper was a gimmick and they sold out. And he's like, look, you bump. He's swearing the whole time. He's like, if you were going to try to make money, would you put a Christian heavy metal band together in the 80s and think you would make money?
They did, though.
Everybody else was Devil and 666.
Exactly.
So if you think that they were like, this is going to make them money, then you're not thinking straight.
Imagine this. I don't want that shit in my house. No, Ma, this is a Christian metal band.
Oh, and the long hair, they got in all kinds of trouble because of that. They didn't look the right way in the whole day. But
Jesus had long hair.
Yeah.
Yes,
I love their guitar sound. They still had one of the best guitar sounds. We saw them a couple years ago in Foxborough.
Did you?
Cool. Over at Patriot Place. Yeah, there's a club over there, and they were phenomenal. They were excellent.
We came up with a commercial. I work for a hardware chain in the corporate office, and my friend and I, who works in IT, we came up with a commercial and we threw it by them. We knew they weren't going to accept it, but the marketing guy at the time was really cool, right? So we go in there and go, we got this commercial. Who does everyone, most people like Jesus, right? I mean, I like Jesus. Do you like Jesus? He's like, yeah, well, I like Jesus. Okay, because if you don't, we'll report you. And this is a Catholic company. I mean, it's owned by Catholic Catholic Italians. So they'd be very frown upon you if you didn't like Jesus. And they're like, so I said, listen, Jesus was what? Think about it. Was what? And the son of God, no, think about it. Think about it. What was Jesus? A carpenter. What do we sell? Hardware stuff. Who does Mike look like with his long hair and beard? Jesus. He comes through. He comes in, like he asks someone, you just see him from the back. He's in the white, right? And he goes, hey, I need some of these nails. And then they'll go, what? Are you like a carpenter? What are you, like a carpenter? And he would turn and go, why, yes, I was. And I shop at blah, blah, blah. But they didn't go for it. But
yeah. You want to hear my one Jesus joke?
As long as you don't get me banned from YouTube, I really do like Jesus.
No, it was on the radio. It was on the radio. So they're at the church, and this younger priest, first week on the job, and he's lighting all the candles, getting ready for the mass, that day. Yep. And he turns around, and standing on the altar was Jesus. And he's rubbing his eyes. He looks, there's Jesus on the altar. He's like, so he goes out back and he gets the senior priest and he goes, you ain't gonna believe this. Jesus is out front on the altar. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm telling you, it's Jesus, right? So he drags him out. They go out and the two of them look, and there's Jesus on the altar. So the new guy looks at the senior guy, goes, what do we do? And the other guy goes, look busy.
That was another good. That was a good. You ever see? Has everyone here seen Major Leagues?
Yes.
Yeah. And remember, Serrano was doing the voodoo stuff.
Yes.
And the guy who would throw like the snot balls and all, like the junk baller. He goes, "Are you telling?" That was one of the funny. I remember laughing so loud when I saw it like 3 times at the movies. That's how much I liked that movie, right? When he goes, "Are you telling me you don't think Jesus could hit a curveball?" Or they got into like an argument or something. It was just funny. It was just a funny line. That's a great joke, my friend.
Good baseball movies.
Yeah. Anyhow, before we go, there's a couple of things I want to touch because Dave's new. But you went to see Godzilla last week.
Oh, did I see Godzilla?
Did you? Now,
my Godzilla. I got a Godzilla around here somewhere. He's
now, but you liked it.
I like all Godzilla.
Me too.
The last one, there was the one from 2014, and then
I don't like the Matthew Broderick one.
That was weird.
Yeah, they made Godzilla like a hermaphrodite or something.
Yeah, the one that was in San Francisco. This is a continuation from that. That was okay, but it was more of a story about a soldier trying to get to his family, and Godzilla happened to be in it. You know. And then they had one that was called Shin Godzilla that come out in Japan. It wasn't in the theaters here, and I got it on DVD. And that was all about scientists and politicians. And that really wasn't a Godzilla movie either. This one is a Godzilla movie.
We had monster fights, right?
We had monsters, we had titans.
Yes.
There was a local vibe to that movie, at least for me, that I was totally surprised about, and it was very good. But yeah, I mean, this was you talk about, full frontal nudity in the first 10 minutes of a movie. This had full monster in the first 10 minutes. So
that's awesome.
It got you going right away. And it was like, wow, this is fantastic. And, there was some tips of the hats back to the old Godzilla movies and the whole bit. So if you're a fan
I'm still pissed that somehow Godzilla lost to King Kong. I understand Godzilla in the movie was technically, I can't say it because Godzilla.
Depends on what country you were in.
I'm in the United States of America. He lost. It's bullshit.
Yes. But in Japan he won.
Well, I have not seen the Japanese version. Maybe I would have been a happier child.
Maybe in Japan Mike Tyson beat Buster Douglas too.
Ron, that is not true. I did some research on that. There was never ever a second ending to that.
Oh, really?
No. There's a rumor that there was a Japanese edit where Godzilla won that match, but it wasn't that way. And they purposely had King Kong win for the American audience.
Well, I'm an American. I wanted Godzilla to win. That's bullshit. First of all, how does a dinosaur that breathes radioactive fire lose? I don't get it. I don't just light his just like shoot
Stark.
No, Godzilla is not a Stark. You know what though? The Starks won out in the end, and we'll get to OG in a moment with that. Before we go to that, and then we're gonna go back to Uncle Dave. There's a game on Steam. It's a hockey game. Now, Dave, do you remember? Because it looks like there was back in the day on the Nintendo, there was that cute little hockey game with the fat guys, the skinny guys, and the medium guys.
It's called ice hockey.
Yeah. To me, it looks like that, except it's blood all over the place.
I streamed some of that tonight. Actually, I got a review code for the PC version quite a few months ago, and I just never got around to playing it. It just whatever happened, right? Whatever. So when it came out on the PS4. I bought it. It was like $12. And it's okay. He was nice enough to give me a code. I didn't get to review his game, so I will buy it, support the guy, and I'll stream the game tonight. Look, I thought that was the right thing to do. Yeah. And so finally tonight, tonight after Ron's game, I figured I'd jump on and try it out. And
put that link in the chat.
It's a very weird game. It plays like that ice hockey game from Nintendo, but it's a whole story behind it.
Yeah, Rob was telling me.
It's dark. The dude who made this it's dark. It's
drank the bog water, Dave.
It's kind of like Miracle meets Saw. Or Miracle meets Hostel. It's like, what is going on with this?
That is too funny.
So you can actually play in exhibition mode, and I tried that, and I lost both games. And I'm like, wow. I mean, if I found it to be difficult, which is probably one of the reasons why I'm rolling dice right now, because I can't play those, I can't play a controller anymore. I'm just not that good. So I was kind of hoping to have some fun. It was okay. It does some weird things, like the Zamboni come out and ran over my guy.
I mean, I kind of like that. Dude, can you hire the Zamboni guy to run over the other team?
Yeah, it's almost like when the ambulance ran over the guy in Madden. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's similar to that.
How's your kidney doing,
Dave? If you head over to my channel, I did stream it tonight, and you might be able to check it out. But it goes from, so there's an exhibition mode where you just play. Then there's a tournament mode where I think you just play. Then there's a franchise mode. So I tried the franchise mode.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
And I don't know how much I should give away. I mean, I don't want to.
How's your kidney doing, buddy?
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say that I didn't have enough money to pay my fee to be the coach of the team, so I volunteered to have some body parts taken out to pay my fee.
Was it like body painting?
Yeah,
no. He was painted all right.
Chainsaws, yep. And then you wake up and you get a tour of the prison that you're in, and you got to recruit inmates, and some of them have brain damage and different degrees of brain damage. And then, and they got different experience. So you got so much money to buy your first team, and that. But where it got away from me was you needed to micromanage your guys. You needed to put him on a diet. You needed to put him in the gym. You needed to tell him when to sleep, tell him when to shower. And I'm like,
so that's a lot more involved than I thought that game is.
It got way away from a crazy, corny hockey game into more like a horror survival type of game. And I don't like those whatsoever. So even if you see some of my stream, you can see how I'm like losing interest with every new flip of the card in this game.
You know, I'm glad you did the review because I thought it was like going to be this cutesy death game.
There's some funny things in there. There's supposed to be a lot of blood. There's supposed to be a lot of craziness, and there's even a mode which I haven't unlocked, and at this point I probably never will. But you play like 13 on 13, and it's just mayhem all over the ice, and you just probably hitting the fight button all over, and it just.
Can you put like blades on your stick? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, it's a prison. You're in prison. I imagine they're going to be doing something like that. But I mean, it's a weird game. It was. I did not expect this at all. I didn't either. That now that you just said that, I thought it was gonna be like because there was another game, Blades of Steel. I think I called it Blades of Blood, Uncle Ron. It was Blades of Steel, and that had a lot of blood and a lot of fighting. It was based on that movie with.
You mean this game right here? That's on my desk?
Yes, that was a fun game in the day.
You know what's right next to that, Al? Right?
What is it? What is it? EA?
What do you think's right next to Blades of Steel? Oh, it would be Game Day 2003 with the best quarterback ever from 2003, and he's still playing, and it's 2019. Hello, can you say goat? So it was nothing like I expected, and even the hockey was kind of weird. I had trouble doing everything in that game, and
you're a hockey guru.
So,
well, that's odd. Thank you for sharing that. Uncle Ron told me, right? I knew exactly what game. I've been eyeing this on Steam, right? Because I'm sitting there going, it reminds me of that Nintendo, that cute little hockey game.
It's very like that, yeah. Because you have your sniper, which is the skinny guy. Your playmaker, which is the medium guy, and your enforcer, which is the fat guy. So it's based on that, and it looks like that, and it plays like that, but with all this other crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So. I mean, 10 years ago, I might have really liked this game, but now that
you're in the carded dice world,
I'm getting as old as Uncle Ron. I start playing the older people games,
So that's pretty funny. Thank you for sharing that.
One of the four here.
Are you?
Yeah.
Details, technicality.
This is Chat with Al. We're not big into details. We skew the facts to go with the way we want it to go.
That's right.
Okay, that's what we do here. Fair and balanced. I have to say, I am not.
I'm 4.5 years from 52. Okay.
I'm turning the big 5-0 this year. Anyway, yeah.
Oh boy, so I'm older than you and Ron. Oh,
yes. So the OG.
I'm 29. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you're 29.
I wouldn't have taken you for 29. I really wouldn't have.
I know. Just
by maintaining my girlish figure, I keep looking young.
Bob Kraft just called OG. He heard girlish figure. He wants to know, are you a masseuse? No.
Well, if the price is right. I mean, he is a billionaire.
Wouldn't that be funny? Like you go over, hello, Mr. Kraft, and all of a sudden he's like, and then like he's in like that Price is Right garb, and the music comes on. The price is right, and you're like, I gotta.
Hey,
go.
with enough alcohol and financial compensation, I'm pretty much down for a lot. Let's just leave it at
Good to know. That is good to know.
And sometimes more alcohol than finances, but anyways,
whatever. That's right. He's a modern woman or something. I don't.
Devin or Robert Kraft?
Robert Kraft. Do you, Matt? I know I don't want to get back on that subject, but I just find it fascinating.
Yet you are.
I just find it fascinating because they're like, it's this, it's that, it's this. Dude, it's just a hand job place. People have been going there for years. It has nothing to do with any of the other stuff. He was just dumb enough to get caught. It's just, and then the police. What makes it funnier, right? The police were told don't videotape it, so they're like, they did not. Right? They're told not to. They didn't have the right to, and they're like, well, dude, what are you doing? Dude, they're in there getting hand jobs. Let's just videotape it. We can watch while having lunch. And they're like, yeah. I mean, none of that. It's kind of funny. And here's the guy. He's going in there, right? He's a bit tense. It's before the big game. He's going in there. He just wants to relieve some tension. She go. They probably give him a menu, right? And they're like, "Do you want the menu? What number on the menu, Mr. Kraft? You want the usual number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? You know, come on."
The thing that gets me is that if I had the money that he did, I'd have freaking Stormy Daniels on call in my box office.
I don't find her attractive.
I mean,
I don't
come
find
on.
Stormy Daniels attractive at all.
If I had that kind of money, my wife would be like, whatever. She wants to move in, go right ahead.
She's like,
I'm not.
Sarah would be
I'm
like-
not going for the fried rice and the hand job special. Okay.
"You want the fried rice? So you want the number 2 winky winky on the dinky dinky
And the Diet Coke.
and the Diet Coke.
The egg roll special.
You want the egg roll special?" I don't know. I find it fascinating that everyone's like, "Oh my God, they touched his wee wee."
They found his wee wee. He's 83 years old.
Exactly. She should have a medal. She found his wee wee. Poor Dave's going, "What the fuck?"
Again, I don't see what the big deal is, but I guess if it's illegal, it's illegal. And
Yeah, but I mean, they
I
made it
just
sound
don't
like
get if you have his kind of money
Yeah.
and you got what 5 Super Bowls going into that weekend, looking for your 6th. Are you going to a strip mall?
Yeah, but you know what?
No,
Maybe
I'm not.
I'm not either. I'm not.
I'm
I
gonna be at
agree.
a posh hotel somewhere, and I'm going to have them sent up to me, and I'm going to have the menu, and I'm going to pick out the one that I want.
And
You know what I
Dave's gonna be
mean?
like, and we'll be like this. "I want you to body paint. Guess where?" No,
Yep.
a little lower anyway. But I digress as usual. So I just find it. They were just talking about last week, and I was gonna bring it up, but I didn't feel good last week. I was getting a massage. Anyway, so tension.
Yes. Release. Sleep.
Yeah, release.
I don't like the massages. I had one. Someone gave me a gift certificate for Christmas to a local place around here.
Was it? And you get there and it's like Hans. This is Hans.
They were very they were very professional. Okay, but just the idea of me, I was in my t-shirt and shorts. I was fully dressed, but just the idea of someone touching me all over, like back, head, arms, feet. It just was weird because I'm like, I if I was like a young chick, I wouldn't want to touch me, even in the legs. I'm just like, why? It's like,
So that's
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Right. That's kind of funny because like the last time, this makes sense to me now. The last time I went to the dentist, they said they're going to massage my teeth. My clothes were off in like 35 seconds. they told me to leave and never come back. That makes sense now.
There was a massage place in the mall I used to work at, and it just was, if they were giving happy endings there, God help you, because it was a mom and her husband and some 6'2" dude that weighed about 225. And kind of like, what Dave was talking about, is like, that wouldn't be relaxing at all.
They did that gag on Seinfeld where George went to get a massage and it was a male masseuse and he was like, "Whoa." And then he comes back and he tells Jerry, he goes, "Jerry, I think I'm they're like, Jerry's like, "No, I don't know what you think you are. I think I'm, what the hell are you talking about, George?" And he goes, "It moved." "What are you talking about?" I got a massage. "Yeah, from a guy, and I think it moved." He goes, "What the hell's wrong with your George?" It's a funny thing. It's just, I don't know.
Well, it's like when I went to the doctor for my prostate exam.
Hey,
you
they
drop
could
your
at
pants.
least buy me a drink before the.
I'm in there and I'm like, "Doc, I feel kind of awkward." He's like, "Don't worry." He goes, "Getting an erection during a prostate exam is perfectly normal." And I was like, "I don't have an erection." And the doctor says, "Well, I do."
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Well done.
You had me going there for a second. And I'm like, then it's like, well, I do. Yeah. That's like when I used to go the other dentist. He'd be like, "A cough. What? Drop your pants." What the fuck are you talking about, man? It's dentist. But anyway, that was good. That was awesome. And now for something completely different. We're going to go to the OG. That was a good joke. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to steal your joke at some point. So there's this little TV series that just came to an end. and people are going like bananas over it.
Oh,
and
I seen it. I think I've seen it.
You think you've seen it? Yeah. OG, give us your take on as he got an itchy ear. I hate when that happens too. Like you get the and you're like, just. But there should be like a little ear hole thing that you can just stick your finger right in.
Is that why Yaz always wear the 9,000 square foot hole in his helmet?
I think so. Itchy ear.
Yeah.
I like Yaz.
Yeah.
You know what would be funny? Remember when George Brett had hemorrhoids?
Yes.
Imagine if he did a prostate exam commercial. That'd be funny. I don't know why I thought of that. I just did.
Are you going to talk to Devin or?
Oh, yeah, right. So there is this TV show, right? Something to do with Starks. And I made fun of just a disclaimer. I bash the Starks every year of this TV show. And you have to understand, it's not that I dislike the Starks, they're just stupid. But in the end, they kicked Al Red Sox fan in the nuts because they won. Because
no, not just the Starks. Ned Stark. Okay, like that picture I sent you. He won because he raised one queen, three kings, a kick-ass assassin, and that one cunt who didn't know how to zigzag when he was running. But we don't talk about it. But
I don't understand how you don't know how to zigzag. You're right, because Ned Stark raised a hand that beats like a full house or something. I mean, they won everything. They won everything. So, did you sign the petition, OG?
Oh God, no. Part of me just wants to laugh uproariously, but I think I'm completely laughed out from season 8 of Game of Thrones. There are people who are requiring therapy because of the way. It's dead serious. Came across my news feed about 2 weeks ago that people are going to therapy because a TV show they invested 10 years of their life into didn't turn out the way they wanted to. I just have to laugh at that. It's ridiculous. Okay, now I'm not going to get into my whole spiel ragging on Game of Thrones because I could do that for hours. But let's take a look at some of the things that really kind of torqued Mr. OG off. Clegane Bowl. Longer than it took to kill the Night King. The Night King, Arya jumps up, stabs him, he's dead, like 5 seconds. Clegane Bowl goes on for like 10 minutes, and then they both fall off the friggin' tower. Jaime and Cersei getting squished to death. Now, what I want to know is Drogon's flying around up ahead, breathing fire on the entire city. They're in the subterranean sub basement.
They're really low. They're really low.
Yeah, they're like 20 feet underground. How the hell are the explosions getting down there?
The magic of television.
It's just, and these two guys, D&D, I don't know what their names are, but they're just referred to as D&D. They're the Great White Hope for the next Star Wars trilogy.
They're the Great White. They're the Jerry Cooney and Dwayne Bobbitt.
Oh my God! I feel bad for the people who got screwed for having invested into this series. Now, don't get me wrong. There was some writing that was really good. And I love that little speech that John gave Dany right before he stuck her through the heart with his dagger.
Oh, you had to kill that. You had to kill her. She killed 50,000 people.
Oh, God, she was worse than the Mad King.
Then she comes out. First, I like to say hello to Timo, a good friend from way back when. Hello, Timo. Hope you're feeling good. Hello, Timo. Listen, I was never a Dany fan. OG can tell you that. Never a Dany fan, right? So, she comes out, she just annihilated a whole city for no reason. You could have went to the Red Keep and killed everyone. I didn't care about that, right? You killed a bunch of innocent people, right?
Well, and
then,
okay, go ahead.
Then she comes out and gives her Adolf Hitler speech. The only thing she was missing was the mustache. That's it. I thought it was like a Three Stooges.
Give her 10 years, she would have had one, right?
Yeah, she would. She would have. What's that called? Nair? She did that Nair.
No, menopause. That's what gives you the hair. The Nair takes it away.
Oh, something like that.
Dave's fixing his body paints.
I was just making sure I didn't have the mic on around picking up the speakers. That's all.
That's okay. All right,
when you guys said that a new series that just ended, I thought you guys were talking about Chernobyl on HBO.
Well, that's my friends at work watch that. They're like, you got to watch this. I'm like, dude, that's depressing crap.
I did. I think it was 5 episodes.
Lived through it. Why would I want to watch?
I just watched episode 5. It was tough.
It's very brutal. It's interesting because they bring up some stuff like, I mean, it's stuff not that I'm an expert at that, but like OG said, I followed the news. You know, the Soviets were like, nothing happened, nothing at all.
Yeah,
it is perfectly safe. Go walk your dog. Just shoot it after this. You know.
Yeah.
Good. You know.
I had no idea at the magnitude. I mean, I was just out of high school when that happened, and from what they were saying in the show, and again, it's a show, you don't know, but they were saying that if they didn't have all those miners go in and dig the tunnel out to get the water out, either put the water in or take the water out. I forget which one it was.
Right.
Half of Europe might have gone up.
Yeah. I mean, they all basically died from, you know.
A lot of them did. Yeah, 25% of them easily died. But I mean, can you picture half of Europe going up? That is just insane.
That was when that happened. Okay, we had, what was it, OG, 3 Mile Island?
3 Mile Island was ours, yeah. And that was nowhere near.
And the U.S., the government and the company, you know, whoever, the people who were in charge were able to control that.
Even Fukushima wasn't.
Yeah. Now, bad things happened at 3 Mile Island that they won't admit. That's why there's a lot of cancer over in that area. But they controlled it the best they probably could. And we'll never know unless documents come out what really happened there. The Soviets, I just read something. The U.S. would ask for, like when that happened at 3 Mile, they wanted to get everyone's input from around the world. How do we stop this? The Soviets wanted no help from anybody because they weren't going to admit that, oh my God, it's broke. We don't break anything. We're the great Soviet Union.
Yeah, we have a fire. It's all contained. Firemen in here putting it out. Yep. In that video there, in fact, even on YouTube, there's some videos. So what was that? 1986, right?
Yeah.
That one of the local hospitals that they took all the firefighters there. I think since then they've collapsed the hospital to bury it. But a few years ago, before they did that, people snuck into the abandoned hospital now with video cameras, went down into the basement, and they found the rooms where they threw all the firefighter equipment, like the boots and the jackets, because they said, get all the stuff off. And it's all laying there. It's still laying there in a room. And they took the Geiger counters up to these things, you know, was it 30 years later, and they were going through the roof.
It's nuts.
I can't picture that 30 years later, and the boots and stuff of these guys that they are still, the Geiger counters like,
Devin, what's the half-life of that stuff? It's got to be in
237 years.
Yeah, I knew Devin would know. But Devin will also know this, I guarantee you. When they were testing the bomb, the atomic bomb, the hydrogen bomb, out in the desert, this is how back in the 50s, right? Where they're like, yeah, just blow that shit up out there. Just the wind will take it somewhere. It's good. Now, you put these goggles on, troops, you'll be A-okay. Everything's fine. You duck behind this. That's like when we were kids, and you're like, it's a nuclear war. Put your hands under your head, duck under your desk, and that magic desk's going to save you.
And kiss your ass good night.
Goodbye. That's the other joke we used to have, right? Before I go back to, was, you know, when you get the, the warning on the radio, this is just a test. What they want to say to you, what they really want to record is, if this had been an actual, you're fucked. Guess what?
You're dead.
You're fucked.
I had a friend of mine that lived in Seabrook, and Seabrook, either they used to or still do have a nuclear plant up in Seabrook, which is right over the line from Massachusetts in New Hampshire. They still do. Yeah. So he would come into work, and this is back in the 90s, and he would say, "Do you know what our evacuation plan is? We got the evacuation plan in the mail in case of a nuclear disaster."
Benny Hill. It's a Benny Hill evacuation plan.
He says a guy is going to get on a bus from Worcester, which is what, an hour and a half away, and come get us. That was the evacuation plan. He goes, "Do you think if this place goes up, a guy's going to get on a bus and risk his life to come get us?"
No. You know what he's going to say? I don't feel good today.
Good night. Bus won't stop.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Sorry.
Bad connection.
Hey, you know what you should listen to? If this had been an actual emergency, bye. You know.
True story. So the fall of 1980.
Yes.
We get some vacation time. My mother's single. This is before she met my dad. So she's got me, my younger sister. We're living with grandma. And she says, "You know, Ron, I found a hotel in New Hampshire, because this is just off the season, tourists are gone, that has the cheapest rates I've ever seen. It's in Seabrook, New Hampshire. Do you know why? She honestly didn't. I said, yeah, the 2 nuclear power plants that are there. And so, sure enough, kind of like when the episode of The Simpsons, when Marge either decides to go get Homer at the plant or goes to have the affair, you take the left, you go to the plant, you go to the right, it's to the Best Western. And so we spent a weekend at the Best Western in Seabrook, and I'm sure she didn't pay more than $25 for the room.
Right next to. Do you have a nightlight? Yeah, it's right out there. Okay.
But honestly, for a little while, and you'll glow.
My apologies to Yankee fans. One of the greatest moments of my childhood happened there. That was the night that one of those nights was the night that George Brett hit the 3-run homer to beat the Yankees in the '80 ALCS. And I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm still glowing from that.
That was the first time because they had lost year after year.
Oh yeah,
70, 76, 77, and 78, all to the Yankees.
Thanks for reminding me. But yes, I mean, she honestly had no idea. Yeah,
but thank God the Red Sox won that division in 78.
Yeah. What?
No, they did. I've changed history. I've decided if I say the lie enough, and you say it to enough young people, they'll believe it. And then eventually they'll grow up. I'll have the Red Sox winning 15 World Series in a row.
Just like we won the 75 series, right?
Yes, yes.
Dave, I don't think they probably would have needed to over-dramatize Chernobyl just because it was the real life was so dramatic.
No, I mean, this was kind of a movie documentary, but so it wasn't 100% real. But there was a lot that I learned about that I didn't know. And it was all about the Soviets basically, like I say, sitting down in the middle of the night saying it's just a fire. And the scientist is like, no, there is radiation leaking out that's going to kill everybody. It's like, it's just a fire, So it's just how the Soviets were in the 80s. It's like you said, we didn't make any mistakes. If this stuff kind of happened, put out the fire, we'll be good to go.
My friend was telling me something because I didn't watch it. I don't want to watch it. It's just it's interesting. It's just, I don't want to waste my time. I want to talk about stupid crap, not stupid crap that actually happened. But when I remember reading, and then I read again. I go, yeah, they didn't want to admit there was a problem. I mean, they talked about that for years. Like when our CIA type people would talk about that, they go, they're not admitting there's a problem. And the U.S. knew there was a problem. They wanted to help them. They're going, yeah, we'd like to help you because we don't want you to blow up the fucking world by accident. So we'd like to help you. Can we come take a look? Or maybe you could film it and we could help you. We kind of know some. And they're like, there's no problem here.
Yeah. Do you know they encased it? They finally encased it. I didn't know that, but it looked like a huge football stadium. It looked like a huge football stadium, and it cost.
They try to contain
200 billion. They actually built it over here and slid it over the building and contained it, and it's supposed to last 100 to 200 years or something, like 100 years, I think. But
there's a bunch of little kids going, "You go touch it, I dare you." And you go touch it. Put your tongue on the pole. I double dog dare you.
There's a bunch of drunk adult Russians that are doing that too.
It's sad. I'm not making a little levity of it, but it's sad. A lot of people died.
And this was they didn't have a shortage of donations to build this thing either, because everybody over in Europe contributed to that thing. It's like if your neighbor's house is on fire, you're gonna help put it out because you don't want to come.
Unless you hated the neighbor and started the fire.
You grill the steaks first, and then you save the house, right?
There was Thanksgiving. My neighbor tried to fry a turkey, and all of a sudden, all these fire trucks showed up front, and
they tried to fry it frozen because that's what happens when you fry it frozen.
It just was a fluke. He had done it for many years, and this time it just wouldn't go out, and it was next.
Okay, I can translate the definition of fluke. He drank more this year than normal.
No, he's not even a drinker, but it was raining, so he pulled it in closer to the house. So it rained
no!
And the vinyl siding started to melt because he couldn't put it out. So the fireman showed up, and his wife was crying, and I still got the video.
Best Thanksgiving ever.
It's never seen the light of day.
Some videos and won $100,000.
The light of day. I still have it. I haven't shown anybody, but I document.
But you have insurance now.
Well, he does. Yeah,
I don't know. You do. Blackmail insurance.
It's still melted if you go back to his house there.
So see how we went. This is the way Chat with Al works. We started off with Game of Thrones. We're going back there, don't worry. And then we moved to Chernobyl, and then we found out that Dave's neighbor, who loves to fry turkey, had a turkey mishap that nearly melted his house down. So you can see how that all relates. Chernobyl meltdown, turkey meltdown.
Okay, I got a Thanksgiving fire story.
We all have Thanksgiving fire stories.
No, this is a real one.
But Dave's was a real one too. I don't think
I know that Dave's was a real one.
Wait,
Are you calling Uncle Dave a liar?
What is this? What is this? The new action PC game by Dave Koch? It's a neighbor at the fire's house. So I'm going to simulate it. This is real.
If it is, if it is,
I didn't roll a 6. It didn't catch. God.
We're going to get into action PC games a little later.
So the Monday before Thanksgiving, supposed to have people over for Thanksgiving dinner. Okay. So the Monday before Thanksgiving, person comes to feed me dinner. All right, I got leftover pizza. Heat up the oven so I can do leftover pizza, okay? She didn't open up the oven to see if there was anything in said oven. Uh-oh is right. Because smoke detector. Dave's leaving. He's had enough. Okay.
No, this is the game you got to get. Can you see that game at all?
Oh, wow.
It's called... Firefighter FD18 for the PS2. You play as a fireman with a hose, and you actually put out fires, and you take your axe and do stuff.
I saw a porn movie like that one time.
For the hose.
Yeah,
there wasn't any fire. I'll put out your fire, baby.
Yeah, I think that's
Anyway,
they never get the TV fixed in porn movies, do they? The TV never gets fixed.
No.
And the sausage pizza never comes from sausage. So
go ahead, Ron. Sorry.
So she had to go get quarters. And at that point, we didn't have a change machine in the building. So she goes across the street. Meanwhile, the oven's on, and guess what's in the oven? Pizza in box.
Oh, my God.
Smoke detector starts going off.
Pizza warming up 101. Very important for everybody. Take it out of the box first.
Absolutely freaking
okay. Continue, Ron.
All right. It wasn't that good because it sat in there all night. Sarah forgot to put it away.
Right.
Anyway, so neighbor comes over, gonna try to shut off the oven. So smoke is pouring in. She makes the mistake of opening up the oven door. Oxygen hits fire. Whoosh.
Oh.
So
is she okay? First of all, before I start making fun of it.
Yeah, she's fine. She's dead now, but not because of that.
Okay, so all right. I'm not gonna make fun of it.
You can make fun of it. This was like 13, 14 years ago.
The time's elapsed then.
Time's elapsed. The statute of limitations has gone from there. I make jokes about it now. That's why I'm telling a story.
I know.
And so fire department has to come because the hall smoke detector's going off and we're all hardwired to the fire department. And so they unplug the oven or shut it off. I mean, it's, this little pizza box created enough smoke that we had to wash everything in the house.
Oh, yeah, because that's all you'll smell.
Yeah. Sarah had to take the day off from work the next day because we had to go to the laundromat and load up their 5 loaders with every blanket and every sheet and everything.
Yeah.
And so they come with these great big fans to blow it out. And so after it somehow didn't get mad at Sarah. It was an accident. And so I said, the next time we want to feed the fireman pizza, you should get enough so we can actually do that because, there wasn't enough Auntie Sarah's barbecued pizza there to feed everybody.
Well, it's funny when you say, you don't put if you're warming up a pizza, with the box. I used to have this ex-girlfriend. I used to tell her to preheat the box before you put the pizza in the oven.
Okay. Did she know that when she saw Titanic that it sunk, it was going to sink because
Did you paint yourself like a French girl for that, Dave?
That was
Titanic twice. We were kind of hoping the second time it wouldn't sink.
Yeah, that was one of the and I've told this before, but it's true, right? My friend was dating this girl for certain reasons, right? And
airbags.
Yeah, and she had them, boy. And so she goes, "That movie's unbelievable. Did you know it really sank?" And I looked at him and I went, "Got a winner there, kid." She didn't really, again, she was a little younger then, but she didn't realize like it really happened.
Yeah.
You know,
A friend of mine took his girlfriend to the Patriots game one time. This is years ago. And he's like, I'm at the Patriots game. My girlfriend, she looks at me. She goes, this is just like being there.
You know what, though? I might have said something like that, too. This is just like being there. So I've said stupid things.
To the
just
monkey
go back
or
and watch.
GTO?
The monkey and GGO, they're out partying. They're coked up. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're frightened. You know what? Deep down, they have a heart of gold, though. I think. I don't know. But anyway, back to Game of Thrones. We come full circle again. So OG was on this brilliant rant. We cut him off because I didn't want him to have a heart attack. We've calmed him down. Continue on. Now, what were your thoughts when Danny? We're just going to talk about the last few episodes. Then you can go back and do but the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs moment when she went, and the bells, and you're like, and everyone's like, oh, it's over. And I'm like, this shit ain't over. She's lighting this whole place up. And people.
It was no surprise. I mean, just the entire. I kind of get where they were going. They wanted to give closure because it was the final season. However, they did it in a very ham-fisted way. It was a very bad way that they approached it because they kind of rushed every character's story arc to finish it up and to give closure. However, the closure that they gave people was absolute crap. Now, I went out on a huge limb last year saying I know what the storyline is going to be. I saw the storyboards. I know how it's going to end. And honestly, the stuff that I found was hella more epic than the crap that actually ended up coming down. So, it's just I remember it's like when Danny was fighting with Drogon over the slave cities, and one of the dragon accidentally burns and kills one child, and she's just so totally broken up about it. But all of a sudden, here we are. We're looking at the Iron Throne, and let's just burn the city to the ground and kill 50,000 innocents.
Yeah, it's about, and it was just
it was bad character development.
The cinematography of it was pretty good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I tell you, the one thing they did right with the battle was they had a dragon. They should win because they weren't going to get they weren't going to get caught off guard. Like the Smurfette moment. I'm riding my dragon. I have 2 dragons, and we're going. Oh shit! And the other one's like, oh. And she's like, then she turns into, I am Sybil. I'm going to kill them all. And here's my other point.
Freaking Christine moment, I tell you.
Yeah, Christine. That's what I meant. Not Sybil. Okay. So why after when they shoot everything, why wouldn't you just loop around the ships because they can't turn the ballista thingies quick enough, right? And just light them up then. But what they did right in the major battle scene was they were prepared this time. They're like, because she wasn't watching Smurfette anymore, man. She was in. They're like, because like Tyrion was like, you're not gonna kill everyone, are you? She's like, no, I'm not. They're gonna surrender, and if the bell rings, that means they surrender. You're not gonna kill everyone, are you? I told you no. Do you like flowers? But they did that part right with the dragon. They wiped them out quick. But the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs moment, I knew that was coming. It's again, I was happy it came. I hate Danny. People are like,
you and I both. We've talked about this at length, online, offline, since season 1. We've both hated Danny.
Yeah.
It's just, and who is it? Chrissy from Old Stone. She's right there with us. She hates Danny with a passion as well.
Yes.
And I feel bad for Dog because I know Dog likes Danny.
And we like Dog. We like Dog.
Love him like a brother.
I love Dog.
We should have known. And I was just so happy that it was John that shivved them.
Oh, that was so.
Bitch.
She was like, and she didn't even see it coming. She's like, and then my brother told me this cute story, and we're like the person I'm watching with, dude, she just murdered like 15 gazillion people, and she's telling it, and they told me this, and they told me that. Oh, John, I love you so much. And John's like, yeah, kiss me. You love me, don't you? Yeah. Just hold on a second. Let me just okay. Yeah. Let me come out. I'm sorry. And then the dragon comes and you're like, okay. And the dragon's like, listen, man, I had nothing to do with this. She's a crazy bitch.
Just following orders.
Yeah, he pulled. I was just following orders routine. You know, there's going to be a war trial for that jackass. But here's the other part. Here's what pisses me off. You had to show the scene when he gives himself up, or however that worked. Now, in my mind, the way that scene should have worked, and then it'll be your floor, or OG. This is the thing this is the thing that bothered me. And the other stuff you said, I agree, but it didn't bother me as much, you know? How do you not show the scene of him telling, the way I thought it went down was he probably gets back to Davos and says, hey, blonde bitch is dead. Now, he probably said it much better than I just said it. Okay. So, but, you know, hey, Daenerys is dead. I killed her. We had to do that because she's okay. And Davos would be okay. Well, we got to do this, and he's gonna say, "I'm gonna give myself up now." And Davos is gonna be like, "What?" But you know, something like that. You had to show that scene. I made it a little funny, but you had to show that. Next thing you know is like, yeah, we've got him. Here's the other thing. If you're a Grey Worm, right? You think I'm taking this guy alive? I'm like, you did what? Yeah, dead. I mean, so you had to show that scene there. I think it was important. How he gave himself up or why. And then it could have been Davos saying, hey, before you do anything crazy, we've got X amount of Northmen out there and there's more coming. You don't know what kind of hell they're going to put on you. There's no more dragon, you know, the Unsullied and the other idiots on the horse. You got no dragon. You don't have Big Brother Dragon backing you up no more. You got to fight your own fight now. That's another thing. The Dothraki. Oh, they're such good fighters. Dude, I've said it before. I'll say it again. You give me 3 dragons, and by the end there was only 1. And the Girl Scouts of America, and I beat pretty much everyone in that TV show.
Cookies.
Yes. Yes, cookies. First of all, we bait them in with the cookies, and then we nail them with the dragons. But I thought they had to show that scene, OG. That's just my opinion.
Well, the thing that always gets me is that they were all pissed off. Oh, you killed the Queen Slayer. Who the fuck was she the queen of?
Allergies suck.
Oh, yes, they do. She wasn't the queen of anybody.
No.
Really. She was Khaleesi, yes, for the Drakthuri. And you can't even really say she was queen of the Unsullied because she set the slave kingdoms free and turned them into a democracy, thus really wasn't a queen. She never ascended the Iron Throne. She was a pretender to the throne. She may have had a legitimate rule, but Cersei was the sitting queen. Daenerys was never the queen of the Seven Kingdoms. Period.
Dave Little,
she was
Dave
a pretender.
Dave Little in chat has something funny. He says, "Nah, I lost it. God damn it! I hate when that happens." Where is it? As the show comes, as he says, "I killed Aunt Danny." You sure did. Go ahead, OG.
I mean, that was the thing that was one of the things that always torqued me off. It's like, no, she wasn't queen. She was pretender. She was basically trying to usurp the legal right that Cersei had as queen. You know, so, and then sending Jon to the wall, it's like, really? First of all, there's no need for the wall anymore. Yes, I know there's always going to be a place for bastards and the broken. Whatever. You can never have children. Bullshit. He goes north of the wall with Tormund, and Tormund's going to say, hey, guess what this guy did? He's going to have all the wildling poontang he can
exactly. They're going to be like, you did what? Oh, I like you a lot, Jon Snow. You know a lot. Anyway, Jon Snow's going to be the one going, I want this on the menu.
Exactly.
He's going to be calling up Robert Kraft going, hey, come up here. Literally. So
there was some good speech writing in it, but overall, how they resolved everything and how they handled everything was, very sloppy. And like I said, I feel bad for the fans. I really do. I know what it's like to be burned by something you love, Star Wars. So I know what it's like to be a fan.
Dog should be popping in at any moment. Dog should be popping in. You said Star Wars. He's going to be popping in going,
Last Jedi sucked.
Al, I got a question for you here.
Yes.
So, dragons haven't been around for a long, long time, right?
Yes, to my knowledge.
So do you think when they wrote this show that they consulted with Clinton Parks to find out exactly how dragons acted?
That's a good one. Clinton, did they consult with you? Clinton is the the elder statesman of the group.
Yes.
I think you're correct there. First of all, they should have consulted with Godzilla on how not to foobar dragons, because I'm not going to get into that, but that's
it's funny. After I think the last one we did was what, the night before. I know we talked about it the night before because I've never watched a show.
Yeah, that was great. It was me and Ron, and he's like, "Okay, talk about Game of Thrones."
Talk about it because the week before that Monday morning, my Facebook feed is loaded with anger. Usually, it's just at politicians or the Bruins, but
this is great. Sorry to interrupt, Ron. Now you have to understand, everyone. Ron doesn't watch Game of Thrones, so really pay it. This is going to be hilarious because
I've never seen an episode.
Okay, but this is awesome. Go ahead. I just wanted to make everyone understand that he's never watched. So he's going to his Facebook page and continue.
Facebook page Monday morning, and the anger about about the dragon and the chicky poop burning the city is just, you would have thought it really happened. I kept expecting, fundraisers and who's the singer that does the stuff for the dogs?
Like a music aid type of concert.
Music aid, yes. Especially for the dogs or the cats of the city. I mean, it was just genuine anger. But after the last episode, there was nothing that Monday morning on the wall. Nothing good, nothing bad.
Yeah, people are just. That's a really interesting point because people are just done. I'm going to be honest with you. I enjoyed the last season. I've enjoyed the whole series. Listen, Danny died. OG would tell you probably when we're talking just me and him, I go, if the one thing happens, this is all I need, and I'm happy. I'm jumping for joy. It's a feel-good moment for me. That bitch got to die. She's cuckoo. Everyone thinks she's so nice. She's so nice. She's so nice. No, she's not. Now, if you use your power to kill bad people, I'm all for it. Kill all the bad people. I don't care. But you could see as it kept progressing. Plus, I hated her story. I didn't like her. I didn't like her at all. No. So, but that's interesting what Ron brings up. So the next to last.
McLaughlin, nurse, your personal nurse told me that.
That's my friend, and she is my personal nurse. So, and that's. Stop right there. Stop right there. I gotta know, right?
I'm not answering that question for you.
Anyway, so
Bob Kraft might.
Bob Kraft, yeah.
After you order number 7.
And number 7.
Anyway,
but that was a great point because the next to last episode, there's all this fury.
My gosh!
And then
unbelievable. And whatever picture Dave posted that particular day, where he walked his dog. So it was that. So Dave walking his dog. We got a map of that.
That was the high point.
That was the high point. Dave's like, my God, I got all these hits, and somehow got stuck to the Game of Thrones thing.
Right. It's like, where the dog peed on the hydrant kind of was shaped like the chair, right? Everything else, it was unbelievable. It was, telethons were coming to nothing.
Actually, I thought it was a joke at first about the petition, and there were people like on TV going, "We're going to sign a petition. We're going to make them do 8 years over. Everything. We're fixing everything."
I mean, Al, can you go back to the last episode of MASH when they killed the chicken that wasn't a chicken?
That was
the internet was around then.
Oh my God! I'm going to tell you. Okay, and then we'll get back to that. Probably is the worst fucking TV ending ever. And I loved MASH. I'll still watch the reruns on Sundance Channel because they do these marathons, and I sit there and I enjoy. I will not watch that. I'll watch that to a point. Yes, there would have been tremendous because MASH was a comedy, but they did.
This dramedy is technically
the
name
thank
for
you.
It.
At the end, they got very dark. It was just wow. The whole thing, when you're watching, what was that, 1983? 1982?
Yeah, February of 83.
83. So I'm 12, February 13, whatever. So I've watched this my whole, I've watched this. I mean, on Mondays, like it was on Mondays, I believe, on CBS or whatever day it was on. I watched this every Monday. I enjoyed it. And then I caught up when they had the repeats. So whatever I missed as a really young kid, I watched this every week. I wanted to watch MASH. My parents let me stay up to watch MASH, right? And you sit there and you're like, I'm watching. I'm like, that's not a chicken they're talking about. That's like, you knew what they're, and it was just, then you start thinking about it. It's like, Yeah, that was probably one of the worst.
Yeah.
I didn't like.
And
yeah,
so that's what I
next
thought of
point.
when you were describing the thing to bring it back to Game of Thrones. Squirrel that was the final episode of MASH, because that would have just angered so many people.
For the anger, yes, and that's probably the best. I think it would have angered more people because I think MASH was much more loved in the day than Game of Thrones. I know Game of Thrones is real popular, but people won't understand it because there's no. It's different now. But what I'm saying is, the Game of Thrones thing, they had to end it. Like OG said, they had to come. It was quick. Now, we don't agree with that. Being said, the endings that they gave, they kind of fit where I thought they were going to go with it, except for the brand thing. And then I told OG this, and I think I don't know if we were talking before or early on when we started streaming. I made fun of the Starks every day after Ned got his head for being stupid, right? Just you're sitting there going, Ned.
It's the only thing I knew about the show. Stark's stupid.
Can I talk to Ned, please? Ned, let's go through this again. Yes, you did. You told her everything. Ned, we've been talking about this. I like you. I'm trying to help. Don't tell your enemies everything you're gonna do. Yes, they might chop your head off, Ned. Stop laughing. They might. It's just so. And I just hung up for Ned. So. But yeah. But at the end they win. So they got the last laugh.
The joke's on
last
you.
laugh on Al, Red Sox fan. But I liked what they did with Bran. A lot of people didn't like that. I thought that was kind of neat when he had, what was the line again, OG? You think I would have come all this way?
Why do you think I came?
Yeah, I mean, that was awesome. It's like, I see everything.
Well, the thing is, and I didn't say this, like I said, I made some bold, I made
prognostications.
Procrastination of bold
Constipation.
Just about.
Yeah.
What I had heard was originally was going to happen and honestly, the first 2 episodes were real close to what the storyboard that I read was.
Yeah.
And so they started changing after 3. So I don't know if what I saw was what the original story was supposed to be, and then D&D Dumb and Dumber got their hands on it and changed everything. But they didn't defeat in what I saw. They didn't defeat the Night King at Winterfell. They spent the next several months doing a slow withdrawal fighting back down the peninsula towards
King's Landing.
I got named. I'm smart, honestly. Dany ends up pregnant. She ends up.
Who's the father?
Who do you think?
The dragon, right?
Oh, yeah. No, John. She ends up having a little girl, but right after that, Cersei decides to launch an attack on him. She thinks that's the best time to try to wipe out the Pretenders, and then she's going to take the Golden Company and wipe out the Night King and all that. Dany gets captured. She gets killed. Jon got away with the little girl. Fight would continue all the way down to King's Landing. Huge, massive 3-way fight at King's Landing. Eventually, yada, yada, yada. Night King is killed, all that other stuff. Basically, the only people who really survive are Bran. No, the guy who wanted the castle. Bronn. He survived. Why can I not? Tyrion survived. Masala survived. Not very many people survived. Bronn the Broken, who is the king now, was originally supposed to have died, and at the very end, after the Night King's dead, Cersei's dead, Jaime's dead, Jon's dead, virtually everybody's dead. The country's wasted. It fast forwards 10 years, and Tyrion is the hand of the king, and he's the regent looking over the 10-year-old daughter now, and she is now the queen of the realm.
That would have been interesting.
But after that, at the very end, what you would have seen was a bunch of White Walkers carrying Bronn's body back up north, placing it on the altar, and do some type of ritual, and his eyes flash open white blue. And he was going to be the new Night King.
Now, what I would have done...
That was way more epic than what happened.
What I would have done to make it even more epic was when Bran lays down, he wakes up, and it's Newhart next to Susan Plachette. That's what I would have done.
That would have been pretty epic, too.
I think I've already said this to you guys. Every TV series should end with a dream sequence.
Yes.
I would piss off more people. They're like, we don't want Al to write the end of this.
Is that how the White Shadow ended?
Oh, I used to love the White Shadow. I don't know how
I
the White Shadow
forgot
ended.
about that show.
The White Shadow was awesome. We talked about that. One of my first chats when I first decided to do this, and I was doing it through OBS and just talking in the chat, and it was the Cubs, the Bears, and a lot of other people. And we just started talking about old TV. And the White Shadow was that the high school basketball team with the coach who used to be the former NBA player was Ken
Howard.
Well, it was Ken Howard, right? And he was playing for the Bulls or something, and he blew his knee out, so he had to go back to his high school. And they're like, "Who's this?" That was just a fun. I used to love. I remember. You remember the VD episode? No, no one remembers the VD.
You know what? When I watched the show as a 7-8-year-old kid, there was never enough basketball in it, so I got bored with it.
I liked the show a lot. I enjoyed it. It was interesting. I did like the White Shadow. It was good. And then they had to change up characters because some guys, that was a great, yeah, it's exactly like the White Shadow, a dream sequence. I would have ended the White Shadow with Newhart waking up next to Susan Plachette. I'd go back and redo everything. I've already told you the way the game Walking Dead should end. Walking Dead should end with a mixture of the Wizard of Oz, meaning he wakes up out of a coma, right? And he says, oh my God, I just had this crazy dream. And he goes, you were there, and you were there, and you were there. And then he looks at Shane and goes, and you were banging my wife. And then Shane would be like, no, I'm not banging your wife. But he really is banging his wife. That's the way I would end it.
If I wake up next to Suzanne Plachette, I realize I'm dead because she's been dead about, what, 7
I know
years?
Susan Plachette's been passed away. But that was one of the best endings ever. Actually, it just fit perfect. I think Ron talked about that too. Him and your father.
Dad and I, I was my freshman year in college.
And he said, I think you said you recognized the room or the bed. And that was the same thing when I watched him. I went, holy shit.
Yeah, I recognized the bed.
Because they were still showing reruns, or I remember the old Newhart show from the 70s, which was really funny, where he was he a shrink?
He was a psychiatrist, yes.
Yeah. And then Jerry was a dentist.
Yep.
And then they had he'd have the nutty guy come. It was a good show. It made you laugh. But yeah, so. But
So can I go off on a little other tangent? This has nothing to do with God, but this is
poor
Dave. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
We're gonna get back to Dave. Dave had his moment in the sun. He's new. He's got to wait now.
He's got to wait like the rest of us. Okay, so you know one of our favorite movie scenes of all times, The Thing, when they pour the burning kerosene, no OSHA standards at all, and they just pour this
1950s. Yes,
the poor guy. I am watching a TV show that was done in 2010. Now, it's a Chinese TV show. It was filmed in China. It's
there's no OSHA there either.
Yeah, no OSHA there either. You're right. But it's basically the Three Kingdoms, the romance of the Three Kingdoms, the warring period in China right after the Han Dynasty fell, and before the Wei Dynasty rose to prominence in the 30 or 40 years.
Bob Kraft got there.
Exactly. So I'm watching this, and there's this one really big night scene, and it's all on ships. And so one side is using flaming oil pots in catapult stuff, launch them over to these ships. These poor actors, it's the exact same thing. This isn't computer generated. They have buckets of oil that they're throwing all over the place, and you can see it splashing everywhere. And it's like, yeah, China don't have OSHA either.
The funny that scene, The Thing from 1951, 52, 53, whatever. James Arness plays the monster, and again, one of the funniest biography moments is when he's talking about that movie. And now he's like 6'4", 6'6", whatever, and they give him those stilt shoes. I know I've talked about this before. He goes, they're trying to kill me. But then they talked about, I watched the whole thing on the making of that movie, how people who worked on that, I like that.
Dave, so you can get on the screen.
Yes, this is the Xbox game. I get an Xbox and original Xbox and PS2. The Thing.
That game. I have that on PS2.
Yeah, I think I got it.
I got it for $3.
It was okay. It was hard to control. I tried to play. It was wicked hard to control.
That was my nephew, who's now graduating from UMass, right? He was a kid. I'm trying to get past this part in that game. It didn't do well, that game. It's one of those the video games where they just throw the movie title on it and they really didn't think about it after. It's actually not a bad game. I got like halfway through it.
It's like the old Ghostbusters game for the Commodore. It had nothing to do with the movie.
I played that on the Commodore, I think.
Did you? I played E.T. Fucking awful game.
Are you kidding
That's
me?
why they're still buried in a desert in New Mexico.
The E.T. game for Atari was great.
You played this game right here?
I love that game.
Oh my God!
Right here.
Did you go dig that up in the desert? That's a true story, you know.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
They had.
I got this at a flea market somewhere in Massachusetts. It was it was a comic show or something. What are they? Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.
One of the local ones. I forget what it was.
As the body painter.
It was up near Bill Ricker, and this guy had all these old games, and he had this Atari thing here, just like that. And I was like, "How much?" He goes, "I don't know. Give me like $1 or $2." So
You're kidding.
Just for nostalgia, I'll take it, right? I took it. Some kid comes up. As soon as I handed him the $2, he goes, "Oh, do you got E.T. for the Atari?" He goes, "I just sold my last one." He's like, "Oh, I'll give you all this money for it." I'm like, "Nope, mine."
That game is worth hundreds of dollars.
Dave Gardner's taunting like the 10-year-old kid. No, it's mine. Look.
There's up in Salem, New Hampshire. There's a retro store that I get all these old games at, right? And they have like a special area with like their expensive games. They got one of these, right, in kind of decent shape, and it's in like this plastic casing that you can see. What do you think the price tag on it was
For the ET?
For the like a newer one, not in the full, just the cartridge itself in like a nice plastic case and just all done up. They had a price tag on it. Take a guess.
I'm gonna guess $200.
$999.
Okay, anyone who spends $999 for
I says
you are nuts.
The guy said it's a joke, but if somebody wants to pay us $1,000, we'll take it.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. But that is fun. I like that. Chino's Comics and More is in the chat. Wonderful channel for comics. They're friends with Comics with Bueller, who we're all friends with. Check them out. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. They just opened I think it's been a year. No, less than a year. It has to be less. They were on with Comics with Bueller. They opened up a comic book store in Houston, Texas, and now they do shows, and they're really fun to watch.
Nice.
And hats off to them. That's to take that risk, and they're very knowledgeable about it. So thank you for joining us, Chino's Comics and More.
You guys remember this game? Do you remember that game at all?
I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And television actually had the best sports games in the day because unlike Atari, where you played 3-on-3 football, you actually had a few. Yeah, you had a few more players. So.
Yeah, this was weird.
3 months they've been open. Cool. Sorry.
Yeah. I still have it. Came with the little things, the inserts that you slid in too.
Okay. OG, you want anything else on?
No. That I just had to tell that Chinese film set because, like I said, in 1959, no OSHA standards. You couldn't get away with that nowadays by just burning oil. But in China, they don't give a f.
They don't give a hoot. They will pollute. It's China, right? Oh, Ron and you guys get that joke because China.
Yep. Oh yeah.
It's like everyone in the world is going to do this except them.
Help keep America looking good.
Now, that was one of the most amazing. Just to go back to the thing, because you can find them talking about that. That literally is a guy in a fire suit, right? Imagine convincing that guy. I don't think it was James Arness, but there was another stunt guy. It might have been James. Maybe
no, I think it was James.
I think it was James Arness because now I'm thinking back at the biography. He goes, they tried to kill, and he's laughing. He goes, they tried to kill me. They're like, he's like, what? Well, you put this suit on. Yeah. And it's fireproof. Like fire doesn't come through it. Yes. Okay. So wait, go back. What you just went yada yada over the part. What happens? Well, okay. We're gonna have these people in the room and like you come in, you're the big bag monster. Okay, I get that. I have to wear these fucking shoes. Yes, you gotta wear those fucking shoes. You're cute. You look good in it. You look good in it, Justin. And then we're just gonna throw gas. What?
I'm putting the link in chat so
people
can see this.
They threw kerosene. Now you have to understand. You watch this clip OG put in there. They threw kerosene on the guy.
buckets of kerosene.
And they literally shoot a flare gun. This is no CGI, right? It lights up the whole room. Imagine the poor bastards going, holy shit, they're going to kill us all. Fire engulfs the whole room. Everyone's like, you can see the panic set in. Like, everyone's like, the acting was so wonderful. Yeah, you'd be shitting your pants too if you thought they were actually going to light you. They were trying to light you on fire.
Yeah, I'll see you guys in a few minutes, right? Yeah.
That's from
today. I'm gonna see you guys, right?
That's from a Dogma, right?
Dogma, great movie.
That was funny. But yeah, check out that. Everyone take a peek at that clip and tell me what you think about that. OG, I'm so glad you brought that. That's why I love these chats when we have. I mean, I go off on weird things, but then everyone else sort of goes, well, if Al's gonna do it, I'm gonna do it too. But in the day, the first porn movie no, I'm kidding. I know which one.
I know which one I watched.
Insatiables, and then we'll stop. That was the one I watched. Marilyn Chambers. Yeah. Anyway, okay. But first video game besides Pong, because Pong was my first video game. People in the chat, well, what's our age demographic here? We don't get any young people, right?
I would hope not.
Define young. Because, like I said, I'm 29, so
Well, we know that you're just a natural beauty.
I am. I am absolutely stunning, and no one can tell me different.
So, Clinton Park says I had the Intellivision. Loved the base. Yeah, the baseball game was awesome.
Baseball was great.
We played that had 9 players, little dudes. Space Invaders, Dave. That. You know what? It was Space Invaders. We played the crap out of that down at the little arcade. Like there's a couple arcade games. So yeah, Space Invaders.
Oh, remember the Intellivision baseball? You're out.
Yeah.
You're out. Remember that guy?
Hello, yeah. Graphs and Cards, another wonderful card collecting channel in our community.
We got the Atari 2600 and to give me Pac-Man because you didn't need to press any buttons to play it. It was just a joystick, which I could do.
Right, and the graphics were not. Well, the graphics were not as good, but it's still the fun. To me, it was still the fun game. But yeah, so and
Defender. We had Defender.
I had Defender. Defender was the one you had the little plane and you had to go down and pick up people. And then I was like, I'm shooting everything. I'm like, oh shit, I shot it. I'm sorry, I didn't. Sorry.
And then at one point it kind of had like a nuclear explosion, and so your screen went white. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you lose. That was Missile Command. I think that was Missile Command.
Missile Command had the big.
That was Chernobyl before Chernobyl.
Exactly.
I like the Circus Atari with the paddles where you had the clowns and the teeter-totter hitting the balloon. I love Circus Atari.
If you go into those into the programming of what went into those games, you will be so impressed that they were able to pull off.
Oh, absolutely!
It's like one of the first Atari 2600 games that came out was a game called Adventure. I don't know how many people here know it. It was basically you were this little square running around a maze trying to get a key and a bunch of other keys. There you go, right there.
You mean this game right here?
Exactly. Unbelievable. Uncle Dave Gardner has it.
You know how much memory that game takes?
It's about 4K, right?
Bytes. 8 bytes. That's it. That's what the entire program is written on. Because that was all the cartridges, the original, what the first 2600 cartridges could hold. Yeah. They got a little bit better over time, but not by much. I mean, it was literally amazing what they were able to pack into those games.
Yeah, as Graphs and Cards says, the graphics on games nowadays are crazy. Yeah, people don't understand. I mean, you look at, I'm telling you, Pong. We were enthralled with Pong. The closest thing we had to a video game was board hockey, which was freaking awesome. You know, you slid the guys and you did all. That's still one of the best games ever.
Did you have Blip?
Pong was Blip.
No, this was a game called Blip, and it was probably the size of my laptop keyboard, and it was electromechanical, but it was kind of like the same thing. And you would wind it up, and you put in the 9-volt. And the top of it would light up, and it was like a Pong game that you could play, but it wasn't attached to a television set.
So it was a battery operated.
The battery, yeah. There wasn't anything digital about it. It was
just Alan.
You had 3 buttons. You pressed 1, 2, or 3, and so you had to guess which one the serve was going to.
I
77,
think
78 in there somewhere.
the one you brought it up before, and I remember it because I had both. The football game.
Oh, sure.
Mattel. That was, oh my God. And the commercials, if you remember, they had great commercials for the Mattel handheld sports.
You got that one too, Dave?
Yeah, I think I do.
Pull it out.
The white box and the green box.
The green one was incredible because you could pass.
Yeah.
Yes, you could pass in the green one. That was
the little flashing dot, and you'd be sitting there going, and then my dad would be like, "What are you doing in there?" "I'm not doing what you think."
I'm dating later. I'm in between dates. I'm playing football.
I have the hockey.
there you go.
Oh my God, he has the hockey. That's
And
so
I
cool.
got that one there.
That's the original.
Yeah.
That's the original.
No, these are actually the reissue. I got these.
They did a reissue a few years
Yeah, so
back.
then, and you know what's weird is they sound they have like crowd sounds.
Yep.
So
they didn't have that in the original. Did they have that in the original?
And I don't want to put it on and get any sound on here and get anybody in trouble with the internet.
I've already been banned from YouTube for 90 days. I don't want that again.
Yeah,
I can ban myself.
Play this. There's actually crowd sounds now. I was like, yay!
That's pretty cool.
They've updated it.
Don Hedston, I hope I pronounced that in the chat. Electric football. I think he means when you set up the little guys. There's actually these YouTube channels. Unbelievable.
I've seen them.
It's unfreaking believable. So everyone has one of these stories if you played sports games because you're sitting there going, and I remember pestering my mom and dad, I want that. Oh God, I want that. So they give me the one, right? But I get the red and the green. I didn't care. It was red and yellow, whatever. To me, it was the Packers and the Chiefs. That's all I cared about, right? Remember the little wheel, and you're sitting there reading the instructions. You have to understand, I'm like 8 years old, and if I turn this like this, you spend 58,000 minutes setting the thing up, right? You get 3 little footballs that I think I lost in exactly 15 seconds because I shot them all over the place and I couldn't find them because I'm like, look how far they go. Yeah, and then everyone goes, and they don't go wherever you want. So then you'd play against your friends and you get in these arguments going, my friend be like, you can't use alignment. I'm like, I can use whoever. His number isn't right. And I'm sitting there going, well, I've decided my team's from the 50s and numbers didn't matter because the guys, the linemen, they were the ones like this. They were the only guys who went straight. So I'd make them running backs and it was funny. And remember that noise?
Oh yeah, they vibrate.
They're actually just selling this one right here on my Facebook feed, not too far away from where I am. It's a two-door vintage electric football game. I think it must be 74. That's what's on his helmet there.
I'm going to tell you right now, the hockey game was a lot more fun because you could sit down and we used to order. This is how crazy we were when kids, right? We're sitting there going, they were flat. The hockey guys were flat, and you get these stickers, and you waited for these stupid stickers to come in, and you'd sit there so you could have like the Minnesota North Stars and the New York Rangers. My set was so old, the goalies didn't have face. They were like no plastic face masks. They were just bare face.
I got one behind me. I got one behind me on the shelf. I don't know if I can pull it down or not, but it's I found it at a warehouse, and the guy only wanted $65 for it. And it's the broad one, and it's got the guy the no mask. And I found for like $20. I found all these teams on eBay. So I think I got like the Seals and the Flyers, and the Bruins, and the Blackhawks.
I had the old school stuff.
It was so metal too. They're all the
metal. I didn't have the metal.
Yeah.
My friend's older brother had the metal ones, but they were plastic. I'll tell you the other cool thing. They had the Risk game originally was wood.
Yes.
When I first saw that as a kid, I was like, whoa, because we always play with the plastic thing. And my brother's friend was like a gamer, like the older brother. He's like, look at this, and he's like, don't touch. But yeah,
I was amazed when I found the wood because the first Risk set I had the Roman 1, the Roman 5, and the Roman 10.
Yep.
In the plastic.
Yep.
And if you got Australia, you were in good shape, man.
Yeah, that's all everyone wanted. I want Australia. What was the first words out of everyone's mouth if they had too much stuff in Europe but not enough to conquer it and protect it? Like, fuck Europe. Because you get attacked by everybody.
Right. Or Asia.
Yeah, Asia's tough.
Kamchatka to Alaska. There you go.
The last time I played Risk, I was shuffling one chick out the back door while one was knocking on the front door.
That's a different type of risk.
You probably just scored about the same amount.
Ooh.
Way to bring the show down, Ron.
Are you new to the channel? Are you new to the channel?
Wow.
Timo says, right. I feel good. I still have my original Nintendo 64. Here's the thing with the Nintendo. Was that the very first one, the 64, or was that the second one?
That was the last one.
Okay. The original Nintendo had one horrible flaw. You pushed the game in, and then you pushed it down in the spring. When the spring went, everyone in the chat who had a Nintendo, how many different things did you try to jam in there to keep that stupid thing down? We would put toothpicks, pens, and then it came down to, we need 3 people to play this game. and then you'd have to sit there. Well, you have to pick someone to sit there and actually hold the game in, because the thing would pop up. That was a horrible design flaw.
Well, and the problem is you'd always, every time it would pop out, you would blow into the cartridge.
Yep.
Like that would help with the spring, but we did it anyway.
Yeah, everyone's like, there was all these urban myths. If you blow in the cartridge, what? Blow the cartridge. You want me to blow what? The cartridge. Blow the cartridge.
Here's one for Ron. So I got this one here for Ron.
That's right.
Yeah, I got that one. Yeah. I got Canadians, Maple Leafs, but I took them off the board, and I got Bruins and
you did
right now.
Poopy head.
But I think I got. But yeah, those are the ones I had. There's the goalie doesn't have a face mask, right?
Yeah, the Blackhawks.
Yep, those are the ones I had.
Those are the ones that. What do they do? They kind of like flip around on a hinge to shoot or whatever.
What you did, Ron, you slide them. The new game sucks because you don't slide it anymore. Really, it's just you could slide it, and then if you played. It's the only time I was good at what the hell? Mathematics. Yeah.
Really?
Now, see how old that game is? That's Oakland. So this must have been 68, 69.
Yep.
Now, they had the deluxe set, the Stanley Cup set, where you actually drop the puck from the top of the thing.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And then I had
that. Mine's missing that, but
yeah. It's funny because you'd lose the puck and be like, everything would come to a crashing. Where's the puck? And geometry, it's the only time geometry came in handy to me as a kid, because I'd sit there and I'd figure out how I could do bank shots to get to, so it hit and go. And then my friend would be incensed. That's cheating. I go, how is it cheating? They don't do that in hockey. I go, we're playing on a fucking board. How is it cheating?
Every time I scored with a defenseman, my friend would be like, no, that's icing.
Yeah.
It's not icing if it goes in the net. Yeah, you're behind your own red line. That's icing.
We were playing status pro baseball, right? And I'm like, we're playing like the best out of 7. We picked 2 teams. We're playing this World Series, right? So I'm sitting there going, the guy up can't hit worth shit, but he had like a rating for a hit and run that was phenomenal, right? So I'm sitting there going, I'm going to hit and run with 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. But you can't do that. It's against the rules. Show me where in the baseball rules that it's, and we literally argued, right? Literally argued for 25 minutes to a half hour. And I'm sitting there going, you tell me where. He goes, well, no one does it. All right, listen, it's stupid, but my dude's got this rating, and he's going to get a hit like 9 out of 10, like put the ball in play, and I got a 70% chance of a hit, and I'm going to beat you in game 7. And he's like, that's bullshit, man. I go, well, then forfeit. Take your team off the field, right? You have to understand, we're like 12 years old, and we're arguing back. He goes, it's against the rules. And I'm like, so I literally had a rule book at home. I went and got it because I used to read everything about baseball. I come and I go, find the rule. Now, it was the next day, right? I go, fine, because I made sure I flipped through it. I go, find the rule that tells me you can't go hit and run on 2nd and 3rd. Because you're a jerk. I rolled the dice. I won the World Series. I'm like, I am the champion.
He slept with your girlfriend then, right?
No. I think he turned out to be gay after that. I don't know. Oh. I crushed him.
There's not a correlation there, Al.
No.
Well, what team was he playing as? That might give us.
I was the Oakland A's. Not a good Oakland A team either. Oh. Joe Morgan was playing on the Oakland A's at the end of his career. And he was the guy who had the hit and run rating. He was. The rule was we couldn't be the Red Sox because we were Red Sox fans. And I'm making a joke. He wasn't gay. At least I don't think he was gay. I don't know. He did look at me in a strange way.
Right? That's because you kept talking about the number 4.
Yeah, it's true. Who the hell was he playing?
I'll be right back.
I think he was like the Phillies or some crap like that. But it was funny because he just argued, you can't do that. I get it. No one hits it around in seconds. There's no rule saying you can't in baseball. Show me the rule. That was my whole point. Like Risk. You used to get into arguments over that game all the time.
Oh, sure.
Because you'd have the one friend, it was like Game of Thrones, trying to manipulate your other friends going, team up with me. I'm like, really? We've played this game our whole lives with the same 8 effing people. He says the same shit and you fall for it every time. All you're going to do is knock me out of the game, and then he's going to knock you out of the game. And he's like, no, this time it's different. Oh, my God, Stevie.
Okay, Lucy, hold the football. So how far did you get with Monopoly?
I was never a Monopoly fan. Not a lot of people.
If we didn't change the rules Monopoly, I wouldn't play it. Maybe we can talk about that on our game mods. How we used to mod Monopoly to make it fun.
Just give us a little taste of that. How did you mod Monopoly?
Well,
you collected $200 no matter what you did because you never had enough money to do nothing. So
I was in college before I realized that I had the computer version before I realized that you didn't get money for landing on free parking.
I'll tell you something. My nephew used to love playing Monopoly, and he would play it for hours, and I hate the game, right? So when I used to babysit him, right, I'm sitting there, okay. So I used to figure out, like, what's an appropriate time that I can throw this match, right? To throw a Monopoly match, right? And so I'm sitting there going 45 minutes to an hour. And then about the second, third time, like the game, like I'd start throwing the game. And be honest with you, you're probably going to beat me anyway. He'd start going, you're cheating. I go, what do you mean I'm cheating? You're losing on purpose. No, I love this game. I don't think so. No, I love it. Let's play again. I hate this game. Please don't make me play it anymore, Nicholas. Please, no, I hate this game. But that was his favorite game. He had like regular Monopoly. He had Star Wars Monopoly. You know what I mean? Like all these different, it's all the same freaking game.
You want to hear a true story? A true Monopoly story?
Yes. Does it end in violence?
Not really. I was in 4th grade, okay, 1976, long time ago. I was in 4th grade, and we went into class, and the teacher had all this Monopoly money. True story. This is not a joke. And he gave everybody a little bit of Monopoly money, right? And then what he did is everybody in the class got a job, and every job paid a different amount. And if you emptied the trash, you got $10 a week Monopoly money. If you
what did the masseuse get?
I don't know, but so we all had this Monopoly money that we could buy different things during the year. It was such an ingenious thing to like.
Was it to show you the value of money?
I think it was because I'd never seen that, never heard that before. But it's just
very clever.
And you try to get better jobs, and if you did better stuff, you might get promoted to the next job, or maybe people would vote you in for whatever. And you didn't really do much with the money, but maybe he'd be like, look, if you have $100 saved up, then you can buy your way out of the next quiz or something like that, or you can leave a half hour early. It was some so stupid stuff. But yeah, we had Monopoly money in 4th grade, and we did stuff with it in the class. We had jobs. Monopoly money. Of course, there was one kid that had like thousands of dollars, so he brought all this money in from home. Like, how do you have thousands of dollars? I get like $150 here. Oh yeah, I get all this money here. You want some? You're cheating. You're bringing in money from home, you bastard.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Isn't
That's right.
Let's go to the chat here. Oh, go ahead, Ron.
I saw. I think it was on YouTube. A war set from Britain during World War II, and the fishy swimming.
Was big guy out?
Big guy's out. He was.
Looks like he's probably behind his cave right
now. Anyway, and because of the shortages of metal, it was one of the few years that the Monopoly sets were made with the tokens were made with wood. And there's a printed message apologizing for that and explaining because of the shortages, because of the rations, that it was in good shape. It must have been on YouTube where I saw it.
So Monopoly was out of wood.
Because you couldn't use
the war effort
computer for the tokens. It was
Interesting. That's pretty cool. In the chat, Alan says he likes the fighting games like Mortal Kombat. Those used to get into some arguments when you're playing those games. A lot of trash talking in Mortal Kombat. I think the original trash talking did come with Mortal Kombat. I mean, that's not true though, because we trash talk playing Pong. We're like, yeah, because Pong was the best. I still go back to it. It's tennis. Boop, boop, boop. It was like Pong. 15 games in one. Like, whoa, cool. And the original Pong set was about like my keyboard, probably a little smaller. The controllers didn't come out. The original Pong set we had, right, to play Pong. So you're literally sitting right on top of the person you're playing with, and you're going, I'm going to kick your fucking ass here. And you're sitting there, and you hockey. Boop, boop. But everything was just, and we thought that was the greatest thing. And then Nintendo came out, we're like, or Atari, I'm sorry, and we're like, yeah. In the chat. So like Mortal Kombat, that was probably, that game caused more, because that was the first really, really mega violent game. I remember, because remember the finishing moves, they rip people's heads off and stuff. I don't remember any other game. I mean, you killed stuff in games. But
the furthest I got with fighting games was Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Oh, that was the best. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Remember you had to hit him under the chin? I watched, what's that? The guys who go, American Pickers, right? And way back in the 30s, this guy, the guy was collecting all these toys, right? I mean, toys from the 30s. But they had a version of Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but it was like cast iron, right? Or something. Metal, or it was metal. It wasn't. It looked cast iron to me, right? And it was Joe Louis and Max Schmeling.
Oh wow!
Now the facial stuff didn't really look like them too much, but you knew who it was because it said it, and it was just, and you pulled, and it was just like Rock'em. And they asked the guy, they're like that. I'm sitting there going, if I was rich, I would buy that, right? Just to have on my, because I'm a big boxing fan, right? And he goes, how much is that? And the guy goes, $20,000. And like, yeah, okay, let's move on to over there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he was. It was beautiful. But yeah, Rock'em Sock'em Robots, that was cool. We've talked about the Super Jock stuff. That was a lot of fun.
I bet you didn't get into a lot of fights doing the lawn darts. If you did, you didn't survive.
Lawn darts were just fun for the whole family. I've told you about lawn darts were like, hey, and there was like only one family that had them, right? Because they're like the new people. Like everyone else in the neighborhood is like, you go, Mom, Dad, can I have lawn darts? And they look at you like, for what? To kill people? I'm like, no. Yeah. So you'd go and you played lawn darts. I told you already, we threw them at everything. We threw them in. I'm telling you, if we went back, I'm going to go back to that house and see if that garage is still there. I guarantee you there's still that freaking hole that they can't fill when we threw the lawn dart right through it.
We used to play that all the time. I always elected to receive.
Yeah, we should just hey, Ryan Slayer.
Dude, we used to get brutal with croquet sets.
Oh, those were fun.
Give us a hammer?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I was a hammer, I'd smash you in the face. I'd smash you in the face all the time. I'd smash
how hard you can whack at somebody.
I know. You're going to give me what? A hammer to hit something with? Yeah, I'll play that game. Yeah. And then the croquet balls, they're kind of heavy, right? You're sitting there going, yeah. You're like, get little Jimmy. Jimmy, go stand up against the fence. You play goalie. Ah! It was, you know what? Kids don't know. I mean, I know things are changed, but we used to come up with the stupidest games as kids because you just,
dude, it was survival of the fittest back then.
It was.
I mean, that's why I honestly believe that's why we have so many stupid people in the world today, is because they started safetyfying everything, the stuff that would weed us out, like playground equipment, like those slides.
Oh, they ruined the
metal slides.
There was a slide that was like, when you were a kid, you're like at least I was like, you want me to go up there? Like they had like the mini version, and then they had the Dr. Death version that you had to walk really high up there, and you're like, you get up there and you're like, I was petrified of heights, right? And I was like, and like slide. I don't want to slide. And then the best part of
kicked, so you got to slide, right?
Yeah, you have to go because there's people coming up. They just push you. It's either slide or die. That's the way it was on the playground, man. Slide or die.
And those metal slides, once they got hot, you
I
slide
was just
down
gonna get to that.
your legs
And
or in shorts.
Yep. Kids would be coming down going, screaming all the way and stuff.
Do they still have jungle gyms around?
No, I don't think there's too many jungle gyms because you always had some kid falling off, whacking his head. But
again, survival of the fittest. We need to go back to that.
We used to play hockey in the 70s, and every now and then the driveway would ice up enough that we could play with a puck. And I remember we were playing one time. We had our sticks, and we're just in boots, and we're playing on the ice. And as one kid showed up, some goofy kid, and he didn't have a stick. So my friend who was a year older than me says, "You can play on my team. You can be the goalie." He goes, "Lay down." And we're playing with the puck. Now we were just kids, and the kid lays down flat in his back with his head on the ground, and we're shooting, and the puck's hitting him in the head, and we couldn't score on this kid. But he just sit there, kept taking puck after puck.
Like, for God's sake, someone get it past the kid.
We can't score against this guy. And the kid just like, ow.
Greatest goalie ever. That is like my friend's sister always wanted to play hockey with us, right? So you'd put her in goal, right? And you just would, because she wanted to play, right? And people were, we'd let her play. And it was funny. The more she didn't pay attention, like she would save everything. It was hilarious. So we're like, Angela, listen. Because once you figured out her technique, like just don't pay attention. Because she'd like, bird, and she'd make a stick save, and she'd have like she would save everything. But if she actually tried to save the hockey ball thing and the street hockey ball, and then it was the same thing. We're like, just stand there. We're gonna, and she'd get hit in the knee. She's like, ow, I don't want to play anymore. Shut up. You got to play. We don't have enough people now. Street hockey was vicious though, because that orange ball left a horrible mark. We moved. We was the
tennis ball one time. We used to play the tennis ball after.
And
I was playing in net. I think I was in junior high, and I was wearing my glasses, but they were plastic frames. This is before I got contact lenses. I'm playing net, no mask, and I made a save, and I was on my knees, and the guy took a shot with the ball right here, right in my face, busted my glasses, and they just went. They were still hanging on my ear, but they broke in the middle, and they were dangling from me. And I had to go get new ones. I was like, well, gotta leave the game. Can't see anything. Yeah, we didn't play with a mask. We got hit in the face all the time. We didn't care.
That's like we go on the pond, right? When it froze over. I never knew of anyone who fell through the fucking ice when we were kids. You know why? Because you'd sit there and we actually would call the fire. There'd be a sign saying, don't go on the ice. You know what we did as kids? We kind of joke about, hey, go across the ice. No, because we weren't that stupid. We might have thrown large rocks at each other by the train tracks, but we're like, yeah, we're not going to go on the ice. And we'd play on the pond all the time. We'd play on the train tracks. None of us got hit. Because when the train came, moved. That's what we did. You just moved off the
ponds we played on, they were so shallow that the one or two times I think we went through, it was like knee high.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, you just crawled out. I remember one time playing, I could hear the ice cracking underneath me. I'm like, maybe we shouldn't be playing in March out here on the ice. That's back when Marches were actually above 32 degrees out here in the Boston area.
The worst thing I remember about walking to the pond to play pond hockey, ice hockey, whatever you want. We used to call it pond hockey because you're playing on a pond. If we could play on a puddle, we would have called it puddle hockey. That's all set. Okay, we took care of that numbnut. You would walk, right? And then when you get to the pond, you have to take your boots off and stuff. The worst thing was putting your boots back on after playing ice hockey. Your feet were frozen. And you're sitting there going, and you'd sit there and you make that long trek back, which we would walk on the train tracks, because if you followed the train tracks, there's no way we could get lost. You'd get back to our house. It was very simple. We're not the brightest kids, but we weren't stupid. We're like, if we go straight, right? And then we'd play the kids. We would walk, and the pond was in the suburb, right? Not that we lived in it, but we lived in a city, right? And we lived near the suburb, right? And you'd play the kids from the suburb, and you'd be like, just make sure you hurt them really bad. Teach them a lesson. So that's it. So yeah, that's fun stuff.
We didn't do a lot of hockey. They did dirty soccer. And so the teachers would always try to get the kids off to hang on the wall because they'd play soccer and they wouldn't touch it with their hands, but we'd all sit there and tackle each other with the legs. And so it was just one cloud of kids running back and forth.
Did you what was on there? We play dodgeball. They don't play dodgeball anymore.
Oh God, even I played dodgeball.
That was like murder ball. That was like the best day in gym class because you're sitting there going, where's that smart kid who ratted on me? Your time has come, jackass. Boom! And I can't get in trouble for this. Dodgeball, yeah. That was. Did you ever see that movie, Dodgeball? With the guy from
Wedding Crashers, isn't it?
No. Wedding Crashers. The tall guy. He was in Rudy. He was actually in Rudy. He played a football player.
Vaughn?
Yeah, Vaughn. And the guy's like, what? And it was Rip Torn. He goes, if you don't get hit by the wrench, you're fine. He goes, what do you mean? Like, he threw a wrench? Boom! He hits the guy right in the head. He goes, do you understand what I'm saying? Now the other guy's like, yeah, I get it. Don't get hit by the wrench. He's like,
if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah, that was a funny movie. Underrated comedy. Right?
So I'm at the coffee shop today.
Yes.
And the wife and I are chatting and drinking and eating something, and a guy comes up to me.
Was it Robert Kraft?
No, it wasn't. Or any of his little minions.
Okay.
And he says, "Excuse me, I know you from somewhere."
Did he say YouTube?
I said, "Weren't you in a Jim Carrey movie?" No, I've done some stuff on YouTube, but not that. Apparently, there's some guy in town that was actually in a Jack Black flick, the one with the fat girl, and I can't think of the name.
Where he put the glasses on and she looked beautiful.
Right? Yeah.
What the hell was that movie called?
You got that game, Dave?
I got something similar.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm almost curious to see what's similar to that game, Dave.
Yeah. Something grows. Anyway.
It's a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Does it involve a joystick?
So I posted that on Facebook, and a friend of mine sent me something. Apparently there's someone in town that has spina bifida, which is not what I have. Was also 16 years older than I am. That was in some movies, and that was one of them. So I was like, oh, wow. But yeah, so yeah, someone thought I was a movie actor. No,
you are a movie actor.
I did a play in high school.
What was it?
Harvey.
Oh, the rabbit.
Yeah.
That movie's awesome. That's what Jimmy.
I played the head of the psychiatric ward.
You played the doctor?
Yes, I did.
The guy who wanted the rabbit after?
Yes.
That's cool.
It was.
That's a great movie. That is a great movie. Highly recommend it, Harvey. I know my
Jimmy Stewart played.
Yep. You speak of the English? I speak of the English sometimes, I speak of the English. He told a story. They're promoting the movie, and it was a play before it was a movie. And
right.
So he's in England, and they're promoting the movie, right? And the little kid's looking, the bunch of little kids are, and finally the little kid says, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me." He goes, "What?" He goes, "Where's the rabbit?" The kid wanted to see he goes, "I want to see the big rabbit, the big rabbit." The kid kept going. He goes, and Jimmy Stewart started laughing. Yeah. He goes, "It's invisible." And the kid was like, I can only imagine what the kid thought was, this sucks, but great movie. Highly recommend it.
There's one scene in the movie
Jimmy Stewart, you're right, yeah.
There was one scene in the movie that wasn't in the play. I don't think the bar scene or the restaurant scene was in the play.
Oh, when they're talking with the nurse and the doctor, or when he's talking with the
they go out. And I don't think we did because limited funds, high school play.
Great, it's a great. I tell you what that movie as a kid, it's like a comedy, but there's seriousness in it. If you pay it, as I got older, I paid. Even as a kid, I said, "There's thing that really pissed me off was Jimmy Stewart has the money. It's his money. He has made this money." something happened. You never find out why he becomes the way he is. Like because the judge says to him one time in the movie, you were this, you were that, you could have been this and that. Why? And he goes, I just chose, how did he put it, to be happy or to help people, right? He says something like that. Like, and he took care of his sister and his niece their whole life. They never paid for anything. He made sure they had everything. And at the end, when they try to put him in the nut house, I'm sitting there going, as a kid, going, you mother, he took care of you. And he was going to do it because, is this what you want me to do? And they're like, I'm like, don't do it, Jimmy, for God's sakes. I know it's a comedy. Kill them. They're Daenerys. Kill them now. No, but that really, that whole part of where they thought he was embarrassing to them, and they were going to put him in it, right? They're going to put him in the, and he was the nicest guy. He just wanted to help. He helped people who no one else wanted to help. He made them feel good about themselves. I mean, they had the would be considered a homeless person now. I think they use the term then would be vagabond. You know what I mean? Like
vagrant. Yeah,
vagrant. And he goes, why don't you come by my house for dinner? Have a good hot meal. And he goes, yeah, I don't think your sister was too happy last time I came. Oh no, she loves you. Yeah, I don't think so. And it was just it's a great movie. I highly recommend Harvey. There's just a lot of stuff in it, a few things, and it's a great movie. It's funny, but there's a few things in there.
There's some grit there.
Yeah. How would you and grit, that's the way to put it. It's a good movie. It's excellent. I don't even know how they would I don't even know who would play that if they did a remake.
Tom Hanks.
Yes, you know what? You're right. Tom Hanks probably is the
Tom Hanks.
who would play the Jimmy Stewart part, and then you could fill in the rest.
Right.
They had the guy who did, I think it was the Maytag repair guy, was in the movie.
Gordon Jump.
Was he? He was in a lot of commercials. I don't know if it was Maytag repair, but he was the guy in the movie who took the sister. He thought she was nuts. And they tell her, hey, go give her like clean her up. And he's trying to he's the one. He tried to take my clothes off. He's like, lady, you're nuts. He's like, Bud W says Jimmy Stewart is the top three actors of all time. I like Jimmy Stewart. I always liked Jimmy Stewart a lot. My favorite Jimmy Stewart.
He was great in Star Trek.
No, wrong.
Stewart?
Wrong Stewart.
Oh,
that was Rod. That was Rod Stewart.
He played some alien. Rod played some alien English singer.
Yes,
looked the part.
Scottish. I've tried to decode. What was that song he sang in the 70s? You stole my heart. Dun, 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 dun. What the hell is that song called? Come on, you know that, Dave. Come on, Dave. Ron, anybody? OG, that song.
You're in my heart. You're in my soul.
Yeah. Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been trying to decode that
until I grow old.
Okay, keep singing. I like it.
Is that the one that goes wrecked up like a deuce in the rumor of the night?
No, that's Manfred Mann.
Blinded by the Light.
Actually, it was Bruce Springsteen that did it first.
Yeah. Who did it first?
Bruce Springsteen.
No, he didn't. He did that before Manfred Mann in the 70s.
He did it before Manfred Mann. Yep.
Well, Manfred Mann's better because
the Manfred Mann version is much better.
They're stoned out of there. Maggie May, thank you, Todd B. I knew you guys were wrong. They're like, I like to phone a friend.
That's a different song. Wake up, Maggie. It's September 9th.
Yes.
Going back to school.
Okay, so I messed up.
No.
You're right. It's my show. I can't mess up.
Well, exactly. We know all these songs we're talking about. We all know that Lemmy and Motorhead did them first, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Who's a better bassist, Lemmy or God? God, no question. Lemmy is God.
Airheads. That was a great movie.
That was Brendan Fraser, right?
Yeah.
Adam Sandler. That was a funny movie.
That was great.
And Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they had the guy from Spinal Tap, Laverne and Shirley. I forget his name. Michael McCune.
The guy who played Lenny. No, Lenny.
Lenny, yeah. He was the manager, and then the radio disc jockey. Who the hell was that? That was the guy with the curly hair.
Radio disc jockey.
Oh man. Can't think of his name now. He was in a lot of movies too. Stellar cast.
Name another movie.
Oh boy, I'm trying to think right now. Taught me. Someone's gonna have to Google that in the chat room there. Airheads. Who was the disc jockey at the radio station in Airheads?
Oh, someone's digging it up right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh, that's when they took the hostages, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And now I'm gonna bring you the Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
And then he froze up. Rock and roll. That's what you gotta say. That's what you got. You holding me hostage?
Art Garfunkel. Todd B says Art Garfunkel. He had a weird hairstyle.
Yes, he did.
He had that horrible. He had the greatest receding hairline ever, and that forehead that just you could film a movie. I don't know who has the worst forehead, him or Reese Witherspoon. Is that her name?
There's a reason why I have to shave my head, because if I let my hair grow as long as Dave's, it would curl. It's Art Garfunkel's hair.
I always thought he had a permanent.
I think he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did. I still can't remember that guy. I know who you're talking. Can't remember it. Someone look up Airheads.
I can't figure it out right now. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to cheat.
Cheating. Listen, if it's not cheating, it's knowledge. It's knowledge.
It's notes.
Yeah, it's like, remember this when you were a kid?
German class.
Yeah. Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Oh, Joe Mantegna.
Okay.
Oh, Joe Mantegna. Yeah. He was in The Godfather 3. He was the only good character, Joey Zaza.
Yeah, just come up and saw that. Yeah.
They killed him off. How quick they kill him off, OG, in that movie?
Oh, real quick. It was like 15, 20 minutes.
And you're like, he's the best freaking character in the movie. Now, he's the bad, him and Vito Interfermo, who was his bodyguard, they're the most. Now, Vito didn't say much. He just would go along and Vito. But Joe Mantegna, good actor.
Ernie Hudson was in Airheads too.
Yep.
And,
Ernie Hudson.
You know, Lemmy was in it too. You know, Lemmy had a cameo.
I don't really.
Yeah, no. When the guy was fessing up, he's like, "My name's not Chaz, it's Chester," and you know, and then and Lemmy goes, "I was editor of my high school newspaper." When the crowd was like egging him on and cheering him on, yeah, Lemmy had one line in that.
If we're talking about movies that we like, that were kind of, has anyone seen The Best of Times with Robin Williams and Kurt Russell, where they replay the football game from high school?
Oh, you've talked about that before, yeah.
I'm telling you, it's one of my. Hey, Thrice Aroni, how you doing, my friend? Thrice Aroni, a card collecting treat. Check out that great channel. I'm gonna get a jingle for all of us. I think we should have that's the cool thing about the 70s, even the early 80s. All the TV shows had songs. I mean, Ron and I sang Love Boat. Was it the Love Boat we sang?
Yes, we did sing
Love
Love Boat.
My favorite was "Come on, knock on my door."
Three's Company. Oh, that was good. Three's Company, man, that was awesome. Come and knock at my door. I was like, Suzanne, I've been knocking your door for a while. You just that's a good one. Those were the days.
Yeah, they've redone that. You should see that Woody Harrelson and Marissa Tomei are playing the bunkers.
Someone was talking about that.
It's gonna be a one-off. Jimmy Kimmel's the producer.
Was Fox playing George Jefferson?
Yes, and there's gonna be a Jefferson's thing too. So
when is that on? Because I'm
not sure. Sometime in the summer.
I can't picture Woody Harrelson playing. He's a great actor. Yeah,
and they dug up Marissa Tomei to play Edith.
Archie. Lionel got kicked out of his house, Archie. He's staying with us. What? Lionel's a good young man. That was one of the.
Do you know who I really want to see play Edith? I think it'd be hysterical. Is Alyssa Milano. Try to get her to do Archie Bunker with all her stuff she's been doing lately.
I think she'd have a heart attack.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. I can't picture Woody Harrelson. I don't know who I would. They're such iconic characters. It's tough. to sit there and
I don't think there is a character or an actor out there that could pull off Archie Bunker nowadays. I mean, Carol O'Connor was just a unique. I don't want to say unique, but you don't have actors that look and sound like him anymore.
No, it's a tough. It's one of my favorite things to do. Like if I can't sleep and I don't feel like watching, I try to like think up movies and shows who would play them. You know, like we do the goofy thing.
I don't know. Seth MacFarlane can do the voice, but he's not old enough.
Yeah, he's not. But he doesn't look. You have to have that look. I'm trying to think.
He would be a good choice, Ron. He would be one of the few guys in 2019 that would tackle that role. I don't know anybody else that would risk their career in a role like that without it being such a watered down version.
Here's the thing with All in the Family. If the PC people actually would watch it and pay attention, Archie actually almost always made, begrudgingly at times, the right decision.
Yes.
Thing with Lionel, great episode where if you've never watched Archie Bunker, Lionel is the son of George Jefferson. They live next door. They're an African-American family. That's the comedy because George is Archie, except Archie's white and George is black. They have the exact same beliefs, basically. It's hilarious. And they just don't realize it. And then they actually talk and they kind of annoy each other. But Lionel gets kicked out of his house for some reason. George won't let him back in. Edith, you can't be on the street, Archie. He can't. And so Lionel comes to live with them. And he's like, what? How can you, what will people think? She goes, I don't care. Because Edith really ran the house. See, again, they're missing the point of the show. Archie thought he ran the house. Edith ran the house.
Right. I mean, it goes back to Ralph and Alice on the Honeymooners.
So again, people who watch that and don't understand it, just leave it be because you're not going to understand it. You should. It's a very good show. But the whole point was at the end, Archie's like, yeah, I get it. Because Archie's like, it's going to piss off George. So he loved it, right? And then he always liked Lionel anyway, even though he said these horrible. Archie didn't realize he was saying horrible things. It's just his thought process. And in the end, Archie usually did the right thing. And
I could see MacFarlane pulling that off, and he has enough appreciation of older shows that he would actually do it seriously, not as a caricature.
You know who I was thinking? Todd B just said it. Ed Asner. But he's really old and crazy.
Ed's a little too old for that.
Yeah, Ed's 90 now, isn't he?
Yeah. Wilford Brimley. Is he dead?
He's another one. He's a little bit old and
too old.
Diabetes. So
diabetes. That commercial. I got snot rags accumulating here.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to play Archie?
They could be.
Just don't tell Gigio. He may try to snort him.
He might. Clayton Park says he wants to do Archie. I could picture that.
Clinton could do Archie, yeah.
I'll be back in a moment. I'm going to have a sneezing fit, so the helm is yours. And I don't think,
It's allergies, dude. Gotta love the allergies.
I don't know.
So Dave, with all the stats that you've accumulated for your hockey leagues, so when are we going to see a card and dice version of your hockey leagues stats for all your players and all the seasons?
Well, it's funny you say that. On Action PC Hockey.
That's cool. That's cool.
I basically took all my guys in my league with 60 or 70 anyway, and I put them into Action PC Hockey, and I drafted them out, and I have 10 teams of 10 or 15 guys on the team with all my guys in the league. And I've actually done a couple of streams live games. So,
very nice.
Yeah. So I haven't done cards and dice with them. I'm still very, very new with that. I've only been doing that for a short time, like weeks. I mean, but the Action PC, I did. I just took NHL guys and renamed them and then played with the stats. But yeah, so all my guys are on Action PC, and I can fire it up right now and play a game between two teams, and all the guys in the game are that play in my league. So yeah.
You still doing any Action PC golf? I haven't noticed you do it.
I haven't done any while. What I was doing was I was reviewing some of the courses. That was kind of fun. As I take a course and I would say, hey, let's go and play this, and see how this course looks and yada yada yada. So I was like review, especially like if a new course come out, that was kind of fun.
Yeah,
you know? But yeah, I was playing every now and then. I'll go and play around, but like Ron will tell you, I get a little frustrated when
I've picked that up a few times.
Yeah, I try not to when I'm streaming, but boy, sometimes like, okay, here I am on the 5th hole, still yet to hit a fairway.
What you need to do is go into the options and turn on. I can't remember if it's turn on or turn off. Perfect strokes. So the ball will always go right where you hit it with the right strength. You don't have to worry about fade or anything like that.
I don't want to do that though.
The problem is that if you don't do it, there's randomization from the player you're playing, which will throw everything off. I love playing with Lee Trevino, but I always got to fade everything because he chips everything to the right.
I wish I told Ron, like, the football's got the slider for the penalties. You want 10 or 20%.
Oh my God, the football game cheats.
I wish the golf would have between perfect shot and how it is. I wish there was a little slider because I don't want to hit every shot perfect. That is boring.
Ron plays ASG, Clinton.
But I just wanted, I just would, after 5 fairways, after 5 holes, I think one of my drives, should land on the fairway, and especially at 17 when I'm hitting an iron over water and I mishit it so badly, I go in the water. It was almost like it was scripted. I'm like,
Well, in that case, you really got to play one of the good players. You got to take like one of the top 10.
Yeah, but even if you take like a Tiger or a Jack, you're gonna. Yeah. I mean,
Arnold Palmer. But I still play bad with Arnold Palmer. It pisses me off too. I'm like, I'm sorry, Arnold. I'm sorry.
You know why they call it golf? Because all the other 4-letter words were taken.
That's right. Greatest golf match I ever saw was Bugs Bunny versus the Scottish dude in Looney Tunes. That was awesome. When he did the whole train thing, and the guy goes, "You cheated." I cheated, and he starts bringing up all these made up facts. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, no, it's still a fun game, just despite the frustration of all the mishits that happen in that game. It's still very fun, but just, I mean, I like recovering from a bad drive, but there's just too many bad drives, and you can almost sense it coming too. You're like, oh man, here we go. I mean, whether I'm Tiger or whether I'm Fuzzy Zeller or anybody, I mean, it's just like boom, 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 boom. It's like, man, I just. And it's like, and the wind is not that bad usually. It's not like I get 50-mile-an-hour wind. I get like 2-3 miles an hour wind. It's like, there goes the ball, another miss hit, another miss hit, and but I still enjoy it. I do.
I find that game strangely relaxing.
Yeah, it is. It's fun to kick back and just click away. It really is. But it's just, oh man, it's
now you bought the new version, correct?
Yeah, I get the new one. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm really liking it, despite my grumpiness.
Did they add? Because I don't like to play tournaments. I like to just match golfers against golfers, but you don't get the cheering crowds. Did they add that to it finally?
Yeah, you can. That's an option now.
Crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
I had that. Yeah. I've got that in 2018.
So I just don't have the right option clicked then.
Right. Yeah. Crowds and casual tournaments is what you want. Or casual rounds.
Because I like that.
I'm still waiting for them to have internet play where you can get 4 of your friends together.
Yeah,
they don't have,
that would be
fun. Have that.
That would be fun. They say they have internet play for the other games, but I've never tried it. I don't want to. If I was playing against you guys or something, that'd be it's different. But I don't want to play with.
No, I wouldn't want to play with a random stranger. I did.
No, that's like when I used to try to play Madden online, and you're just sitting there getting whooped by like some 12-year-old kid talking trash to you. I'm like, really? Just shut up.
Me and Ron were going to try to figure out how to do that. I mean, the closest we've come is we've both done color on each other's broadcasts.
Those are great broadcasts. Those are fun.
Those are fun.
Yeah, I did a hockey one, and he did a football one, and we kind of took turns.
Clinton says we're playing the wrong golf game. There is no wrong game if you enjoy it. If you enjoy a game, you enjoy the game.
Did you see the golf game that I picked up at the flea market?
The board game, I saw.
Oh yeah, the one with the trashed out lid.
You've been on fire with the games you found.
This is incredible. I can't believe you found it.
What year is that? Now that's from West Springfield, right? Because I wrote it down.
Yes, that's
National Game Corp, West Springfield. I got to look that up. See, I wrote it down. You guys don't think I listen to you guys?
So it's just a board game. The board's in phenomenal shape, and it's I don't think it's got the original pieces, but you roll dice and you look at a chart and you just move your guy down till you get on the green, and then you roll for a putt. But when we looked it up, I think it was it's a 1950.
Yeah.
That's a long time. I think what Clinton was in his fourth or fifth year of college at that point, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
But
Todd, you just asked what year is it? 1950.
1950. Yeah, I got to try to stream that. It's just a board game, and I'm going to try to set it up and do it and roll the dice. And I got a little
immaculate shape. It's in for a almost 70-year-old game. It's an immaculate.
And it still has the box. That's what's incredible.
It's got the original scorecards too.
Really?
It's unbelievable. It's in the box. I mean, the board's good. I mean, I don't think it's dice. The dice and the pegs aren't the same, but the board's great, and the original scorecards and the instruction manual and everything there. So it's fun. It should be fun.
How do you feel when you're at the tag sale or flea market and you see something like that and it's like score? You know, I mean, it's just.
I went last week and there wasn't much there. I went up to this table and this kid was there like a minute before me, and for $3. And I was like, I can't believe I missed this deal. He got, I think it was complete because he was open and looking through it. He got a board game, and it was the $6 Million Man.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
For $3, and I'm just like, oh, I was this close.
You imagine streaming that? That would have been freaking awesome.
I had it. I think it was horrible.
It is a horrible game because my friend had it. We played it. It was stupid, but it was the $6 Million Man.
Yeah.
Anything $6 Million Man or Evil Knievel, we wanted it. That's all we care about.
For $3, I would have taken it and unboxed it and done a video, and then.
Oh my god, that is.
Then I would have sold it to Ron for $20. You know.
Todd B says, "I've never found a sports game anywhere. The closest thing I got some baseball cards when I was a kid at a tag sale and stuff. Of course, someone wrote on the back of all of them, which I didn't care because I just wanted the card. Later on, I collect stuff.
Stick them on the thumbtack into the wall or something like that.
But they were still cool cards. And I've told D. Scott Howard, I have them down in my cellar somewhere. In 1969, I think it's either 68 or 69, there's some sort of baseball set. Now, a card is, so big and yada, yada. These were, it's not the right size, but they were like much bigger. You know what I mean? Like it was, I have them down cellar and with a bunch of my baseball cards and football cards. I got to pull them out. They're incredible. They're not in really good shape, but they're really cool. You flip them over, they're big cards and shit, I can't. They weren't tops because I collected a lot of tops. I forgot what the hell they were called, but D. Scott Howard knew what they were.
I used to like to collect the Twin
Upper Deck.
These were from I bought them at a tag sale.
Oh,
they were, when I was a kid. The guy was just selling them. I was like, whoa. I had Willie McCovey, Tommy Harper, bunch of they good players. I mean, they weren't in great shape.
Did do the 8x10 size one. Actually had a Bob Stanley, which is kind of funny over the last week. But yeah,
I know because we've been all talking about Bob Stanley because of you. So that's right.
Tops did oversized cards
in the 60s.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they are top. It's just cool. I never saw them when I was a kid. I was like, I want those. The other thing, I've looked everywhere. When I was a kid, I used to collect the football helmets, the little plastic goofy football helmets. You put your 10s, whatever the hell, like quarters. Now Dave Gardner's going to pull out like he's probably got a whole freaking Tampa. Oh, with the real emblem. That's the only Tampa Bay emblem right there, not the crap they have now. The creamsicles. That's the best uniform right there. But I used to we'd go King's Department Store. We'd walk, again, the train tracks to get to King's Department Store in the suburbs in East Long Meadow. And we'd sit there it became a quarter later on, but I think it was like a nickel to start, and we're just sitting there with, dang. And I'm like, the New York Jets for the 18,000th time. How many freaking Jets helmets do you have in this plastic thing? But
I was at a flea market in Woburn. Got to be over 20 years ago. It was before I was married. We used to go to, ever heard of Jolly Jim's flea market? No, it must be.
They have one in Brimfield. They have a big flea market.
Yeah, this is a pretty good size one. We would go all the time, and I saw something and I didn't get it, and I'm kicking my ass. I didn't get it. They had a pennant, like the one, like the Seals pennant, like that pennant, right? And it said, "New England Patriots, 1986 Super Bowl champions."
Oh my goodness!
And I didn't get it. And I was like, why would I want that? They had it at the flea market, so they must have printed up some, and they
always do. They
didn't get that third world country where they send the T-shirts. So
I've always wanted the '86 Red Sox World Series championship. There's kids in Nigeria who have those shirts.
Well, remember they announced Bruce Hurst as the MVP
on the scoreboard.
On the scoreboard. Let's relive some misery for all of us Red Sox fans.
Thanks.
Yeah. To this day I can't watch those games. No. I can watch I watch the 78 playoff game twice a year, no lie. At the end of baseball season, just before baseball season, and now I basically listen to it, And Avengi Crosby's in the chat. How you doing, my friend? Check out that card collecting channel.
Can watch that series with the Angels, but I cannot watch that World Series with the Mets.
No, I can't. I've never rewatched any of that stuff. He said, hey, you have a fan, Dave. Avengi Crosby says, Dave, that blood hockey game you played was interesting to say the least. Ha, ha, ha.
It was weird. It was so weird. It was like a little bit hockey, but a little bit of role playing. And you had to, like as we talked about earlier, you had to, you picked your team, and then you had to get, tell them what to eat, tell them when to shower, tell them when to sleep. It was like, oh man, that's a little bit much for me. But yeah, I mean, some people, I mean, they love it. The reviews are great on that game. It's different. It is. It's very different. Me, being an old man, didn't care for it so much, especially when they started cutting my body open to pay for my team.
That was weird.
That was weird. That was so weird. That was messed up weird. Good thing it was all 8-bit. It wasn't like high graphics or anything.
Oh God, no.
Lock and Load Publishing in the chat says, I'm a big Mets fan, second Red Sox fan. You know what's funny? When I was younger, I was reversed because the Mets, we've talked about this, Ron. You get the game of the week.
Right.
If the Red Sox weren't on, like on NBC, it was a lot of Mets games, right?
So, sure, because they were in New York, and they were halfway decent once in a while.
Yeah, and they had one of my favorite all-time players, Rusty Staub. I mean, he was at the end of his career, and he was basically a pinch hitter, played first. So I'd watch them. I never disliked the Mets until they beat the Red Sox in the 80s, and I don't dislike them now. I'm over that.
Nope, yeah, I'm with you.
But yeah, I rooted for the Mets. I mean, if you watch my channel, do I not play a ton of Mets games? I play a gazillion Mets games. I'm playing offline. Ron will tell you I'm a masochist. I'm playing the 1962 season over. I want to see. I told Ron. Well, no, the first time.
I root for the Mets all the time when I go to your games.
Yeah, they never win. I play the worst Mets seasons ever. Can I win more games? The road to 41, I call it. And I post in the Discord, like everyone's sitting there going, oh God, Al's putting another one of those stupid Mets postings up there. You're not going to get to 41. I
have to find a game. Okay. I have to that shootout hockey game I'm playing. I need to find a baseball game as close to that as I can find.
Let me tell you something, Dave. What you've done with that game, I just like listen to your okay. When I watch someone on YouTube, it's not necessarily for the game they play. I watch for the entertainment value, meaning are they into it? Are they exciting? When I watch OG, I like military strategy games, but he makes it even more fun for me because when he the way he does it. When I watch Ron, I know Ron has knowledge, but it's like listening to the game, and Ron has fun with it. Okay, Dave, what you've done with that shootout hockey, is it called?
Yeah.
I want to, like, when you ever said I went to the store and I bought felt, I'm like, ooh, what's he gonna do next? And the presentation is okay. The gameplay, I couldn't tell you how the game's played. I just listen to you roll the dice and you tell me what happens. I'm enjoying that, right? And I love your hockey call. And then you've enhanced. When you ever had the little guys with the Stanley Cup at the end?
That was great.
That was awesome. That's what it's about. That's having fun.
I'm worried that Dave's wife is going to drive to Vermont and hunt me down because I'm the one that's, it's been sitting on an email forever. And so he was looking for a game. I said, here, look at this. He was shootout. I said, yeah, go right in. Oh, wait, I bought it at one point. I said, okay, here you go. Here are the rules. Here's the best of the 80s. Have fun.
Yeah, so it looked good. So I actually emailed the guy, and I bought it, and I bought a couple of seasons, and I printed them all out. So I got my so I go to the place and I print my cards out here. I'm not going to show you the stats, but see how the full color cards are all all printed out. So I go to Staples, the nice card stock, and so the nice thick, heavy duty, and I set them up, and I found that app that has the hockey scoreboard that you can
That's
actually
great.
swipe. That makes it all, and I just put up try to dress it up so you don't see my desk and my wires, and it works.
I think the setup is absolutely phenomenal. I really do, because it's ingenious. If I use use that word correctly, OG? Ingenious.
It's a college word. You're asking me?
Well, you're
You
smarter
used it
than
correctly,
college
Al.
people.
You
Well,
did use it
I don't
correctly.
know about that.
But it just,
Yes, that would be the word. Probably.
But
it's
if
just
I could
awesome.
find a baseball game like that, because what I like about that game is that you get the two teams, you got the cards like right here.
Now,
And-
do you
and
only
you
have
got
a limited
charts
set
that
of
you
players
look
on those cards? Just
Well, it's just a team card. There's not individuals. They're all on that card. So when you roll the dice, you look at the chart to see if it's a scoring chance, and then you roll to check the team card to see who's taking that chance, and then you go back to the chart for a goal. So it's like a
So-
3-step process.
You know what that reminds me a lot of? My Fran Tarkenton football, where you're basically looking at a chart of a team. They give you the players on another page, and you just, again, I've when we talk, we're not going to give it away. We're going to do a mod. Hopefully I can make it for that one, like how we mod games, and that's the game
We
I've
haven't
mod.
set up a time yet, so it's whatever you want to do it.
Okay, we're going to do it now. And no, I'm kidding. But yeah, that's pretty interesting that that game flows really well, and you can get enough of it where you feel immersed in it. And we'll talk more when we do on.
I just popped my wrist. That wasn't fun.
Are you all right?
I want to insert here real quick. I just want to give a quick shout out to Lock and Load Publishing, Dave from Lock and Load Publishing, who's in the chat with us. Remember what I was talking about earlier at the beginning of the episode?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's him. Lock and Load. Thank you very much. You know what? Let's talk a little more Lock and Load, since we have Lock and Load.
We need to get. Well, yeah, Dave's right here. Dave's right here in the chat.
So again, tell us. I know you told earlier, but we're going to be coming to an end. We're at 12:12, and poor Ron's going. Well, that because you're out in the freaking time. You're in a time machine. You're in the future or past.
I'm in the past.
I'm in the past. It's it's still
it's
still Saturday for him.
Are my ways quaint to you because I'm living in the past?
Now, if you lived in the future, like in Australia, we could call up and go, "Hey, did the Red Sox win? I want to bet them."
Yeah, right?
I never bet the Red Sox.
No, never.
I was at the rink at 6:30 this morning. I'm still going somehow.
That's incredible. So
coffee, right?
We're going to turn it over a little bit to OG, and I promise I'll shut the hell up for a little bit. So OG, tell us about Dave from Lock and Load. You're talking. This is the gentleman you're talking about earlier in the game company.
Yep.
So go ahead.
David from Lock and Load Publishing. Well, what exactly can I say? Lock and Load Publishing has been a company that's been around for David could answer this better than I. 15 years at least, and they do hex and counter war games. And the original company was under the leadership of a guy called Mark Walker. Can't get into all the details because I honestly don't really know all the details. David acquired the company, and he also, if for you computer gamers out there, if you know a little company called Matrix Games, he kind of has a pretty big hand in that as well.
DNB and Foo. DNB and Foo. I want DNB and Foo.
Yeah.
DNB and Foo.
David, if there's anybody out there who's doing a Dien Bien Phu game, Al would really love a computer version of a Dien Bien
but
Phu
don't
game.
make it where I don't understand it. Make it so I can underplay the game, please. Thank you.
And so since David has acquired the company, he's really been ratcheting up the quality and just the sheer amount of stuff. If you go back and take a look at my World at War 85 videos that I've done, and especially the starter kit unboxing that I did, and just the sheer weight of stuff that I just had pulling out of the box. It's just Lock and Load. For the longest time, I would probably say GMT was one of the premier hex and counter war game companies. No, Lock and Load is rapidly overcoming and in my opinion exceeding them. In a lot of cases, they're branching out into computer games. There's a couple computer games that they're taking from their tabletop games, put it into a digital version. So.
Now, can they say there's a board game, right? When they bring it over, I get it. It still plays like a board game, but Is it easy to bring a board game over into the computer game, Dave?
I'm not a programmer, so Dave, I'm not a programmer, so David would have to answer that. I don't think it's really too difficult because
Devin, did we just go off air?
He froze.
Oh no, Mr. Freeze.
There he is. He's back.
He's back. Spider-Man saved him.
Woohoo! Yay!
Go ahead, Devin.
I don't know how hard it is to port a board game into a computer game. I've never tried it before. I don't think it would be that hard.
That's what he just. You look at
he
just said that.
It just really depends on the game. Yeah. So
it's just because OG. I ask you when I want a game. And you again. I'm not going to mention that other company because they make a good game. It's okay. I like Order of Battle. It's simplified for me, but yet there's still strategy. I know everyone who are real war gamers are going, what? Order of Battle?
Yeah, I play Order of Battle. It's a real war game to me too.
The other company,
the tiller.
You said it. I wanted to know how to. I don't want to spend a gazillion hours trying. I want to play. And learn from my mistakes. So
no, you must read 7,000 pages of Orders of Battle. You must know exactly which tank to put where and which infantry there.
Well, Order of Battle tells you that.
It says, yes. No, that's easy. No, you're talking about.
No, you can't do that. Yes, right. You can.
Right. Yeah.
Thus, an enjoyable game. Devin, we've talked about this before because I make the joke when I watch you guys play, and I watch your stuff. Devin I watch the stuff. I mean, I sit there and I watch it. I enjoy it. I listen to it. I enjoy it. What drives me nuts is when they overcomplicate a game, and Devin will bring it up and say, I would have done it this way. I would mod it this way. Devin's actually someone we should have on when we talk about modding, even though it's we're talking about sport, we should have Devin on if he's available. But, line of sight, that drives me.
Line of sight on tacticals, the advanced squad leader, the advanced overwork.
Yeah.
With hills, I get aneurysms off of that. I swear to God, it is the bane of my existence. I can't say it's the only reason I stopped playing ASL and ATS, but it's a big reason why I stopped playing ASL and ATS.
Yeah.
But that's at the tactical level.
And I'm sorry we got off track. So I'm sorry because the DM just get back.
That's fine.
To the again. Dave from Lock and Load Publishers as an example. David, and as an example, David. What movie is that? I mean, it's not. But I was kind of doing Slapshot there. Owns the goalie anyway. No one gets the joke except you guys. He says, as an example, if the game has a lot of op fire, that makes the computer game much harder to do.
Yep, because if you got op fire, then the computer's looking at all the potential moves that it can see, and if it wants to, and then you got to program the AI that way if it's going to do the op fire shots, what have you, yada yada yada. So yeah, again, that's a programming thing. I don't do the programming side of things, so I can't speak to the play testing. But yeah, if you're a Hex Encounter looking to lock and load tactical, they just started the.
Is there? Can you put the site?
Yeah.
Put the website in the chat, and then
let me go ahead and get the website, and I'll throw it in.
Thank you, David from Lock and Load Publishing. What made you get into gaming? That's a good question. I asked a good question.
You always ask good questions, Al.
Well, thank you.
So.
All right, so you're gonna okay, cool. So that's the Devin, the OG, just put the link in there.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Devin, what so far is your favorite game from there, or one of your favorites?
Oh, from Lock and Load, the World of War series, by far, hands down. Definitely my favorite. I loved it when the original edition came out because it hits the sweet spot for me. It's platoon level. And it's impulse driven, and it's Cold War gone hot. So it's three of my.
That's the one set in '85.
Yeah, that's the one that's set 1985.
Yeah.
It's Cold War gone hot. So that is definitely I enjoy the lock and load tactical just because I'm a tactical guy. I like more the squad and the platoon level stuff. ASL ATS way too hard for me. Company Heroes, just no, don't want to get into Company Heroes. And there's a couple other tactical level games, but the lock and load kind of hits that sweet spot as well. It's not too hard. It's not too easy. And the maps are just absolutely gorgeous. And they're so tiny. They're just little itty bitty panels. You only need a very small footprint game, so I gotta love that. But yeah, the World of War 85 is really good. I enjoy the Space Infantry game. It's a solo game where you get to play, Space Marines going around shooting Xenos in the face. So who doesn't love that?
I love it.
There you go.
David from Lock and Load says, because I asked the question what got him into the gaming, he says, Toys R Us, I saw Third Reich and I fell in love.
I know the game.
Oh my Lord. Simsalabim. Beatles eternally. How you doing, my friend? I hope all is well with you.
Wow, he's not dead.
No, he
hasn't done anything in forever.
I know. We say everyone's asking where's Beatles. We have found Beatles. Hope all is well, Beatles. Hope all is well, my friend. As he says, just stopping by to say hi, leave a like and a comment. There has never been a truly accurate war game, in fact. Well, we don't want it to be too accurate. You want to have fun. As much fun as you can have. Risk was the first military strategy game I ever. Oh, no. Risk and Stratego. Those were the first two. Well, you're always welcome back here, Beatles. I hope things go better.
Has he moved back? Is he back in the States already?
Yep.
Oh, that's probably why he dropped off the face of the earth.
David from Lock and Load Publishing, what is a scenario, a military battle that you have not done that you want to do? And the same thing, Devin, or anyone in the chat or the panel. I've already said Dien Bien Phu because that's battle fascinated me. What is something that you, Devin, would like to see?
Oh, that's easy. I would love to see something, and I was talking about this earlier, the Three Kingdoms era of the Chinese,
the movie.
Yeah. Yep. Well, the TV series, yeah.
The series, sorry.
But there's plenty of Japanese games out there covering the Middle Ages of the Japanese samurai warfare, stuff like
Shogun
that.
Or Shogun.
Yeah, Shogun. That era. Well, Shogun was kind of after,
right?
But it's feudal Japan, feudal China. There just isn't really any games that I've been able to see. You would think it's a great period because I before I got into the series, I went over history for idiots and history in 5 minutes, and it's like, wow, this stuff puts the War of the Roses to shame. So it's got some wild and crazy stuff going on. This is rich, fertile area for war games. But I don't know of any games that are set in the Three Kingdoms period. Well, there's Total War.
I was just going to say Total War. They have the Samurai. I don't know if that's the same period.
Well, they had Samurai and Samurai 2, but they just came out with Total War Three Kingdoms. like 3 weeks ago.
I have to admit, when it comes to PC strategy war gaming, I like the Hex. I used to like Total War, like the all at once, but I kind of like when I can sit there, have my cup of coffee, and not worry, and just I like the Hex, and as you know, I play the Order of Battle, and I like it. It's just a little more relaxed. I try to play Company of Heroes. I made a mistake of actually trying to play online.
Well, that's the thing. You don't do real-time strategy games like that. The Twitch games, I don't even do those anymore because I am an old man now, and my
friend Chris, who we used to see occasionally on the chats, Chris Anderson, he was like, they have rankings and leagues and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he showed me he was good. But he goes, Al, you think I was good? You got to watch this guy. And it's insane. They make, it's so, it's like you're playing chess, 3D chess, It's just like, Beetle says he likes you've been playing this one, OG. The Total War Warhammer game.
Yes, I played a lot of that. I played way too. I probably got 600 hours into that stupid game.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's not the most I've gotten some games, but
we're gonna. My allergies are really, really, really kicking in now, and so we're gonna.
Oh, real quick before we cut this out, do you know that there's a free DLC for Borderlands 2 that's supposed to be out tomorrow?
No, I didn't.
Yes, it's called The Battle for Sanctuary. It's supposed to be the storyline that links Borderlands 2 to Borderlands 3. It's a full DLC. It's free.
We have to get a time when you and I can play.
Yes.
I was playing that the other day. I love Borderlands too.
Yeah, here's a thought process on that. We could have Uncle Ron do commentary, right? Listen,
are you guys on PlayStation or Xbox?
He has it on PC.
Oh, PC. Yeah.
I have it on.
I don't think it matters.
Take care, Beetle.
I think it really doesn't matter if you're.
Thank you for stopping.
I think it all goes to the same servers.
I imagine they're pretty much the same servers.
Platform.
Yeah, I think it's cross. I can't say for certain, but yeah.
I
know Al and I can play. We both have it on PC.
Before we go, we had a lot of fun in the chat. We were all over the place. We made people laugh. I hope this is for fun. All you people, everyone has to know is, from my mouth comes the truth. No, I'm just kidding. This is for fun. We do this for fun, to make people laugh, okay? And I hope we did it. I'd like to say thank you to Beatles Eternally. Thank you to Bud W. Thank you to Lock and Load, David.
That was awesome.
That is really cool. When he popped in, or that name, I'm sitting there going, isn't that what OG was? That's the pub. Because I see publishing. At first, I thought it was a troll. I'm like. Thank you to Todd B. Clinton Parks. My allergies are really kicking in bad. Sorry. OG, yeah, you're on the panel. Avengi, Crosby, Captain Carl, Bobby Cantilano. My eyes are going to start to water. Thrice Aroni, a card collecting treat. Timo, who I met through Fill the Issues guy. Thank you very much. Honor and a privilege for Timo. Alan, thank you. I haven't seen him in a while. I greatly appreciate it. Ryan Slayer, thank you. Everybody else, thank you very much. Fanomatic, Tribes fan, Don Heston. Oh my, D. Scott Howard was in the chat. I missed him. D. Scott, thank you. He says, quite a rogue gallery. Ralph's graphs and cards, baseball demos. We had a good crowd here tonight, people.
It was huge.
Nurse Teresa. I'll thank her later. So she's going to get mad. I shouldn't have joked that way. I'm sorry. Stratomatic Delaware. It was good to see our good friend Chris. Got to be back. And I have a lot of bizarre things we want to do with Sesame Street characters, and he can do all the voices. So with Christopher Walken and stuff. So Sports Time Machine, our good friend Mr. Utah Mike, Living My Rhapsody.
LMR was in here?
Yep. Rob, Explanation Point. Uzi Patrol was here.
Uzi Patrol, my buddy Uzi. Yeah.
All right. And if I missed you, I apologize. We try to say hello to W. Vogs will. And I'm going to stop that now because my head is.
You look like your head's about to explode.
Yeah. That's why this is what happened to me last couple of weeks. So, all right. So, thank you to everyone. Let's go to Uncle Ron, then we'll go. And thank you, Dave Gardner. I hope you come back on, and we're going to have Will on. Actually, I want to have Will on in a couple of weeks.
I got a few people I want to thank.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just hang on one second.
Oh, my Lord. He's making fun of me. I'm dying over here.
That's okay. Pull out the phone book. You got someone from Danvers you haven't thanked yet?
I'd like to thank my teacher from 4th grade. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have learned Spanish. She was quite voluptuous, and it's the only reason why I took the class.
That sounds like a Buddy Hackett joke. All right, so thanks for having me on. We got some later today that 70s tournament for Dave Little. We got the 73 Mets, speaking of them, at the 79 Pittsburgh Pirates, and Al's going to sing We Are Family.
We are family. I got all my sisters and me. OG.
Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms in the comment section. I hate to say this again, but I got some lock and load stuff coming. Lock and load.
All right. I always look forward to it. You should have David on your channel to talk. That would be and publicize it. Oh, okay. Never mind.
there is something that's probably coming up at some point that we're going to see
And then,
something like
'cause
that.
you have that Facebook thing too. Facebook. I'm the only person not on Facebook because
I obviously I'm on YouTube, the original Grognard, and if Facebook is your thing, I'm there as well as the original Grognard. If it's not your thing, oh well. I'm not on Twitter though, see, so you got me there, Al.
you don't want to be on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't want to be on Twitter.
You know, it's very toxic. I'm not going to get into that, but Uncle Ron,
Yes,
Dave Little's Facebook group.
Yes, sports simulations and replays.
Yeah, and they're almost at 1,000. Let's get them to 1,000. I'm actually gonna.
Last time I looked, we were at 982, so we're 18 short of 1,000.
Yeah, Uncle Ron's gonna help me do a Facebook so I can join in on there, so they can get to 1,000. And now, OG, you're all set.
I'm good.
Thank you, Ron. OG. Now to Dave Gardner. I hope you come back sometime.
I had
Dave.
fun. Yeah, it's like I know most of you guys anyway, and a lot of people in the chat I'm familiar with, and people that have stopped in to see my hockey streams or my golf. Thank you so much. My numbers are going up, and I must be doing something right. And thanks to you guys. I mean, I've watched all three of you guys' streams, and quite honestly, I'm just trying to keep up with you guys, and I try new things and new setups and new games or whatever, and I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and it's stupid fun, but I'm having a blast.
That's the important thing, having fun. And Sam's Tangled Web just jumped in to say hello. Good friend of Comics with Bueller, good friends of the community. Please, if you have not subscribed to Sam's Tangled Web or other content creators in the chat, please do so. Subscribe to one another. That's how we're all going to grow. There's a lot of wonderful content, as they consider us small content creators, but we might be small content creators, but we're very good at what we do. Well, they are. I'm not.
Yes, you are.
And we have to support one another. Comics with Bueller. Oh my God! Now they're coming at the end, and that's cool. I wish they came. Not that didn't come out right. Thank you for coming here. My head's gonna explode because
my
good night, Al. Good night, Al.
Good night, Al.
God bless. You know what's coming. Peace.